Live from Athletic Kulture Stadium in Springwater Township, Baycats TV presents the Inter-County Baseball League. And tonight, for the final time in the 2025 regular season, the Toronto Maple Leafs will face off against the defending IBL champions, the Barrie Baycats. Hi again, everybody, and welcome. With Matty Gale and Julius Hern, I'm Ben Davy. It is Pack the Park night here at the ballpark, presented by our friends from Vintage Throne Barber Lounge, and a great crowd on hand here tonight to enjoy this ball game. Two reasons why this game is so important for Barrie here tonight. First and foremost, Julius, the Baycats are on a 4-game losing skid with 5 games to go in the regular season. Certainly not a good time to spin into a nosedive. We'll try to put that to an end here tonight. But secondly, and almost as significantly, Baycats starting pitcher Frank Garces is sitting on the brink of a franchise milestone.
Yeah, he had 11 or 12 strikeouts last week to put him tied with Cesar Rosado at 105 on the season. That's a Baycats single-season franchise record, so one more tonight will break it. So he had a really nice performance against the Toronto Maple Leafs 2 weeks ago in his start there, so it's very likely that it could happen very early on. But like you mentioned, the Baycats need this win so badly, and we've seen fireworks here this year between these two teams, so that could be the spark to kind of get them in the right direction ahead of the playoffs.
As for Toronto, right when you think the season might be a lost cause for the Maple Leafs, they bounce right back and start playing some pretty good baseball with a convincing win over the Baycats when these teams last met at Christie Pitts in Toronto. Having said that, they were on the wrong end of a lopsided score on Sunday in Chatham-Kent. They're looking to bounce back from that here tonight.
Here's the thing, you take that game and you look back on the last time they played the Baycats here, and it was very, very successful. And even when you go back to Christie Pitts, another kind of blowout win in favor of the Toronto Maple Leafs. So they know what to do against Frank Garces. They got the win off him a couple weeks ago. So this could be a really tight matchup and a really nice crowd on hand to see it.
All right, Leafs and Baycats, let's get it going. Here's our starting lineups tonight from our PA announcer, Rob Daniels.
Commercial.
Highview Contracting Group in Barrie and Simcoe County, offering award-winning hardscape, interlocking, pools, excavation, and more. Call 705-985-7669 or highviewcontracting.ca. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
Hey fans, please make sure to stop by Vintage Throne Bar, located at the entrance to the ballpark tonight, to find out information on how to support the Ride for Sick Kids. Show your support for one of our very own Baycats fans and this year's Sick Kids ambassador, Ilaria De Tomaso, by purchasing a ticket for the raffle draw. 100% of the proceeds donated on your behalf for the Ride for Sick Kids. $1 a ticket, $5 for a 5-ticket bundle. And fans, Vintage Throne Barber Lounge is a very proud supporter of the Barrie Baycats. Here tonight, we'd like to welcome some of their team to the field for tonight's ceremonial first pitch. Please welcome Daniel, Massimo, Claudio, Devin, and Leticio. Claudio will throw out tonight's ceremonial first pitch. Claudio, it's your pitch.
Way to go, Claudio. I think that was a breaking ball, but he got it over for a strike, and everybody looking fine. Clean cut, well-shaven, well-groomed. We would expect nothing less from the gentlemen of Vintage Throne Barber Lounge, tonight's sponsor for our Pack the Park night.
Absolutely. They do a great job over there. I'm happy that they're a sponsor for this year's third Pack the Park night. It's going to be another great outing. We've got another great crowd on hand to watch a rivalry game.
Pack the Park night, Throwback Thursday, the final time this season. You'll see the Baycats wearing the vintage red jerseys, which have been an alternate uniform they've worn on Thursday nights. Hard to believe it's our final night game of the regular season here in 2025, a season that certainly had a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah, absolutely correct. 4-game losing streak, as we mentioned off the top for the Baycats. There was a point this year where they'd won 12 of 13. So they're the defending IBL champions. It's still kind of a drama-filled season. Hasn't really seemed to go in particularly straight on in one direction, but like we mentioned earlier as well, trying to get hot towards the playoffs. That's the big key to tonight.
Okay, let's look at the Leafs and the starting lineup for them tonight. It features leadoff man and third baseman Ryan DeSantos. John Javier is the number 2 hitter in DH. Jordan Castaldo, former Baycat, former MVP at first base, batting third. Cleanup man Marcus Connect is in right. Dennis Day Banning is the center fielder, batting 5th. It's Justin Mara, the veteran catcher, batting 6th. 7th in left field, Luca Boscarino, batting 8th. Dan Mara, the second baseman, and batting 9th at shortstop is Spencer Ross.
And on the mound for the Barrie Baycats, third consecutive Thursday night game. He'll be starting here at Athletic Kulture Stadium, and he has been on fire lately across those last 2 outings. 12 strikeouts, 11 strikeouts respectively, 1 away from the single-season franchise record, as we mentioned. And it's Frank Garces' night in terms of the rotation for the Baycats, and they haven't been able to win a whole lot of those games. So, again, trying to get those key runs early on, give him some run support that he's lacked is going to be key for the Baycats.
This is Frank's second stint with the Baycats organization. He joined the club in 2018, had 58 strikeouts that season. Tonight, 105, and he will look to set the franchise mark with his first strikeout of this ball game here tonight. Lots of anticipation. Many fans well aware of this franchise record that more than likely will be set at some point here this evening.
Third baseman number 8, Ryan DeSantos.
Umpires tonight, Keith Corville calling balls and strikes, Scott Costello at first, and Chubba Bay behind the bag at third. As DeSantos steps in, and Frank Garces, the veteran left-hander and former San Diego Padre, toes the rubber and gets ready for our opening pitch. 7:42 tonight. He winds and deals, and it is a first pitch strike. Hazy sunshine at the ballpark here tonight, but the smoke is cleared out. No air quality warnings in effect, and the humidity much more comfortable tonight, too. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. And here we go. This place will erupt if Frank can do it here early in this ball game. It's an 0-2 count to Ryan DeSantos. Here's the crowd. As Frank looks in, gets the sign, kicks, and delivers. And it's just outside, 1-2.
Ryan DeSantos mentioned to me earlier, despite him being a leadoff hitter, he says he hasn't had a ton of success off Garces in his career.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Frank Garces with the delivery. There it is! 106. And Frank Garces is Barrie's new strikeout king.
Ball goes to the dugout. A big strikeout in this Baycats franchise history. Frank Garces, 106 on the year, and he got it done early on in this ball game. First batter kind of gets the pressure off him a little bit to ease himself in.
The record previously held by Cesar Rosado last year, and Frank eclipses that with an early strikeout here tonight. First pitch high to John Javier. So these fans today witnessing history, right from the first at bat of this ball game. This one lifted high and foul to the right side. 1-1 count to John Javier. Frank's first year with the Baycats, 58 strikeouts in 2018. He went 7-0 that year. Of course, he won 7 games here last year with the Baycats as well. 1-2 count now to John Javier. Came back in 2022, struck out 39, 83 strikeouts in 2023, and then 81 last year. And this season, as of right now, a remarkable franchise leading 106.
It's crazy to think that with the stuff that he has, he hadn't eclipsed 100 before this year, especially the dominant seasons that he's had previous.
1-2 pitch on the ground to short. Hernandez backhands it, long throw. It's in time for the out.
Let's give it the defense for the Barrie Baycats behind Frank Garces. In the outfield from left to right, Tristan Clark, Noel McGarry Doyle, Clayton Keys. On the infield, Noah Hall, Brandon Hernandez on the left side. Adam Ott at second, Nolan Macabroda at first, Tyler Plumpton making the putout on that first historic strikeout for Frank Garces.
So 2 down for Jordan Castaldo, who always gets a scattering of appreciative applause from longtime Baycat fans for his tenure here with the Baycats. Those championship seasons here.
Triple Crown year in 2019.
Highly decorated former IBL MVP takes the first pitch, just missed. Looked pretty good, maybe up in the zone a little bit, ball 1.
Had 15 home runs in 2019, that MVP year.
311 average here in 2025. 1-0 from Garces. Just glances off his bat for a foul, 1-1.
Yeah, 6-game hit streak for Castaldo. Homered his last time out, that was August 2nd against London. Went 2 for 4 in that game.
You mentioned how you were surprised that perhaps it took this long for somebody to get 100 strikeouts as the Baycats' all-time franchise single-season record. But to me, it speaks a lot about how the game has evolved and changed.
I was going to bring that up, too.
Over the years. Called strike 1 and 2.
That was kind of what I was alluding to, because pre-pandemic, you weren't seeing the kind of strikeout numbers we're seeing now.
Years ago, 20, 25 years ago, this was very much a pitch-to-contact type of ball game that you would see here in the IBL. But high strikeouts, high walks is kind of the name of the game here in the modern era. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lifted high and foul to the left. You think about the big names that have pitched here in Barrie over the years. Angus Roy, Brad Bissell, Paul Spaljarek, former Major League player. None of them came close to 100 strikeouts in a season.
Yeah, before Cesar Rosado set the record last year at 105, it was Adrian Salcedo in 2019 who had 90. And before that, Emily Guerrero and Claudio Custodio each had 80 in 2017. So the record there wasn't a whole lot of progression.
The closest Angus Roy came was 87 in 2002. Thanks to our stats man, Tim Clark, for digging back into the archives for us on that. A called strike 3. And listen to the hand for Frank Garces as he comes off the mound. 2 strikeouts, 3 up, 3 down, go the Leafs in the top of the first inning. No score here at Athletic Kulture Stadium between the Baycats and Leafs on Rogers TV and Baycats TV YouTube.
hockey fans from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
Ready after the second batter.
I think we can go with defense stronger than that. Let me hear you again. And lastly, Avery Matlow, let me hear it.
Let's go Baycats! Come on, everybody! Let's go Baycats! Let's go Baycats! Here we go, Baycats! Here we go! Here we go, Baycats! Here we go! Da-da-da-da-da-da!
Probably going out same time as well.
Here come the Baycats in the starting lineup for manager Josh Matlow. Looks like this. Noel McGarry-Doyle leading off in center field. The Hernandez brothers follow. Brandon at short batting second. Francisco, the DH, bats third. Nolan Macabrota, the cleanup man, at first base. Tristan Clark in left field batting fifth. Adam Odd at second base batting sixth. Clayton Keys in right. Tyler Plumpton behind the plate. Noah Hull at third.
On the mound for the Toronto Maple Leafs, I think his fifth appearance of the year. Third starts, Franklin Hernandez. His last time out, he was outright dominant against the Baycats at Christie Pitts. 5 innings, got the win, only allowed 3 hits in a scoreless outing. 8 strikeouts to add on to that as well.
29-year-old Dominican. Fifth appearance, third start. Faces Noel McGarry-Doyle here, the first batter for Barrie tonight. One-oh pitch. Lifted foul, left side, out of play. What a year for Noel McGarry-Doyle. 389 through 27 games. This team hasn't stolen a lot of bases this season, but he is the leader with 4. Inside corner for a strike.
You could argue that the aggressiveness on the base passes might be one of the biggest differences between the championship team to this team. Especially with Kenise Ejo not being on the roster this year, it's very apparent that the aggressiveness in trying to steal bases hasn't been there this year.
And Ejo certainly had the bulk of the steals last year. That one high and inside. McGarry-Doyle ducking out of the way.
He's one of those players when he was on the team last year that you knew that he was going to run if you walked him, and he drew a lot of leadoff walks in ball games. If he got that free 90 feet, he was likely going to try and steal on you.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Hernandez delivers. Bounces up to the plate. Count even, 2-2.
Everybody clap your hands.
Franklin versus Frank. The pitching matchup tonight. Hernandez and Garces. An all-Frank matchup. They should have served free hot dogs tonight. 3-2 pitch. To center field. And a running catch made by Dennis Dabanning to his left for the first out.
Let's give you the defense for the Toronto Maple Leafs behind Franklin Hernandez. Luca Boscarino gets the start in left field. It's Dennis Dabanning in center. Marcus Connect is back. He's in right field. Spencer Ross at short. Ryan Dos Santos at third. Justin Mara Dan Mara at second base, Jordan Castaldo, the former Baycat, at first, Justin Mara, there he is, he's the catcher for Franklin Hernandez.
So Franklin Hernandez, no relation to Brandon Hernandez, although Brandon is related to the fellow you're going to see next, Francisco, his brother, who's on deck. So you get 3 Hernandezes here and 2 plate appearances. First pitch is low. Final regular season matchup for these clubs. The Leafs are 3-2. So bragging rights at stake here tonight as the Baycats try to even the season series. It's been a while since Toronto has taken a season series from the Baycats in a regular season.
Yeah, Toronto only got 1 win against the Baycats last year, and it was the last matchup of the year at Christie Pitts. Meanwhile, the Leafs have won both games here this year.
2-0 to center field, and it'll bounce in front of the batting for a base hit. Let's check in with our sideline reporter, Maddie Gale.
Inside the dugout when Frank Garces just broke that record. He was all smiles once he got into the dugout. I asked him how he was feeling, and he gave me a simple good. But something to note was the first person that congratulated him was Cesar Rosado in the dugout, who told me before the game that he's fine being second for the time being, but next year it's his title again. Some friendly rivalry.
Well, Baycats fans would love to see that. Cesar Rosado reclaim the title in 2026. Won't happen this year, more than likely, but next year certainly. That one lifted foul down the right line. Well, this crowd gave a really nice ovation to Frank Garces during the commercial break. It's unfortunate we weren't able to pick that up for you, but it was announced on the PA by Rob Daniels at the conclusion of the top of the first, and this crowd really gave Frank a good thunderous ovation for that remarkable accomplishment. 107 strikeouts now, the franchise mark.
And well-deserved, too. You look at a guy like Frank Garces, it's not like it's his first year as a Baycat, too. He's been here a couple stints, 2018, came back in 2022, and has been absolutely dominant his entire IBL career.
No balls, 2 strikes, throw over. If you're wondering about next weekend, manager Josh Matlow told me there's a good chance, anything can change, but he said there's a good chance he may give Frank that weekend off just to get him ready for the playoffs. So the final total tonight might end up being the total that wraps up the 2025 season for Garces. Foul back to the screen.
Yeah, a long break relative to what we've seen this year. So tonight's game on the road tomorrow in Brantford, and then back here against the Kitchener Panthers on Saturday. And then next weekend, it's only Saturday, Sunday, both at home. You got Hamilton Cardinals and London Majors, respectively. So, and then arguably maybe 4 days before the playoffs will actually start here with Game 1.
0-2 from Hernandez, and it's fouled off to the right. Well, if memory serves me correct, I believe Frank Garces was rested the final weekend of the regular season last year.
That sounds right.
Manager Josh Matlow likes to do that. Gives him a chance to line up the pitching for the first round of the playoffs and make sure that Frank is operating at 100%, full tank of gas. Nothing really at stake for the Baycats right now other than positioning, but the pennant is out of reach, so. To third, and that is foul.
Well, the Well and Jackfish are in action tonight. A win for them would clinch them the pennant, so that's something to watch for on the out-of-town scoreboard.
Yeah, a Welland win or a London loss will wrap it up for them, and they've been at the top of the standings all season long, so well-deserved if they're able to do it. It's going to be a tough task for any opponent facing Welland in the playoffs this season. They have had a remarkable year. 0-2 and time is called. So Brandon at first, Francisco at the plate. 1 out in the inning. Here's the pitch. Outside, he checked his swing. They want an appeal. He did not go, says Scott Costello.
You could argue, despite still trying to recover from that nagging hamstring injury he suffered earlier this year, Francisco Hernandez might be the hottest hitter in this Baycats lineup right now. 3 for 4 with a home run on Sunday and a lopsided loss to the Panthers.
Runner goes, swing and a miss. Here's the throw down, the tag, in time. Strike him out, throw him out, double play, and that'll do it for the Baycats in the bottom of the first inning. A great throw down by Justin Mara to nab the speedy Brandon Hernandez. No score, we played an inning here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run. The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield.
This telecast is presented by the authority of the Intercounty Baseball League and the Barrie Baycats Baseball Club. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or retransmission in any form is strictly prohibited. No score, top of the second, Baycats and Maple Leafs. Final night game of the 2025 regular season here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. Baycats back at home Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock this weekend, and then a Saturday-Sunday back-to-back weekend here to wrap it up. Both afternoon games here at the ballpark in Springwater.
It's crazy to think there's only one road game left. A lot of the road games this Baycats team stacked towards the front, middle part of the season.
Foul back to the screen. Marcus Connect is at the plate. Frank Garces, if you're just joining us, has set the all-time Baycats franchise single-season strikeout record. Did that with a first strikeout, the first batter of the game, Ryan DeSantos, went down swinging, and that gave Frank strikeout 106. He struck out Jordan Castaldo to end the inning, and the record is now 107. 1-2 now to Connect.
Connect was battling an oblique injury, around the All-Star break, so he didn't play here last time the Leafs were here. But the game after for the Leafs, he came back in a big fashion to their lineup and hit a home run in Welland, a blowout win for the Leafs on the road.
Called strike three. It's brought to you by Vintage Throne Barber Lounge. 1 out in the inning. 3 strikeouts, 4 outs. For Garces, here's Dennis DeBanning.
Center fielder number 19, Dennis DeBanning.
Well, that Connect return to the lineup couldn't have come at a better time for the Leafs. They were really struggling, in particular at home. That game that you referenced was a road game, but this team seemed to pick up a little bit of energy with his return to the lineup. Still looking for some consistency. They had a very strong final few weeks of the season last year. Make a little bit of a climb up the standings in terms of playoff positioning, but of course the first round playoff exit ended that.
Yeah, Connect came into that last game I mentioned 4 for 5 with a double and a homer, and he's reached base every game since he came back from injury, including a game at Christie Pitts against the Baycats.
Time is called. DeBanning with a .306 average. Swing and a miss. There's some aircraft overhead. Don't see that a whole lot here at the ballpark in Springwater. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch to DeBanning, and it's outside. 1-2. got a little airport just down the street in Stayner. I wonder if that's where that small aircraft might be heading.
Yeah, very possible. Might be a float plane too.
Skies are pretty quiet here in Springwater most nights. It's not like Christie Pitts where you've got planes racing overhead on their way to Pearson Airport. Base hit to left field. So the Maple Leafs get their first base runner of the night. It's a single to left for Dennis Debanning. Catcher Justin Mara comes to the plate.
I was talking to Dennis Debanning quite a bit before the game, and he likes hitting here a lot. He was kind of the hero in both those extra inning wins earlier this year for the Maple Leafs. Was ejected in the extra innings of the second of those two and was suspended, but back in the lineup, and he's really threatening an All-IBL selection at the end of the year.
Definitely having an outstanding season, and he has been a menace to the Baycats. Fans here.
Dennis the Menace?
Yeah, good one. I didn't even plan that. Well done, sir. Fans here well aware of the kind of season he's having. This is Justin Mara, the veteran catcher. Debanning the lead. Being held on by Nolan Macabrota. Garces with the pitch, fouled back.
It's interesting. We think back to the very first game of the year for the Baycats. We did the open and of the broadcast, and one of the things I was kind of talking about was what Debanning's addition to the lineup was going to mean for them. A lot of power in his bat, and he's really kind of proven me right.
Didn't take long for him to fit into this ball club. 0-2 and a throw over. Garces with a sneaky move, but Debanning didn't bite.
Well, guy's been in the IBL now a few years. He was also telling me that Christie Pitts is by far his favorite place to hit in the IBL.
Really?
Yeah. But
well, those outfield dimensions are certainly favorable.
But on the road it would be Welland or London.
0-2, a high fly ball to center field. Noel McGarry Doyle over to his left, and he's got it for the out. 2 down in the inning. Here comes Luca Boscarino.
Left fielder number 84, Lucas Boscarino.
And with the sun down now, it's a very comfortable early evening here at Athletic Kulture Stadium in Springwater. Fun fact, tonight's sunset earlier than it was here for our season opener now. So these days are getting shorter and shorter, and the sunsets are going to be happening earlier and earlier right through the rest of the season and into the playoffs.
Yeah, you're starting to get the sense, climate-wise, the sense of the atmosphere in the park as well. It's almost playoff baseball.
Called strike. Boscarino in his 10th game hitting .241. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Wind blowing from left to right. It's a southerly wind, or the wind from the south here this evening. That's the opposite from what we usually see here in Barrie. 0-2. Here's the pitch. Off speed and it's outside. Count 1-2. No score. Toronto and Barrie. We're in the top of the second inning. Garces with 3 strikeouts tonight. Can he make it 4? He comes to the set position. And the 1-2 pitch. Popped up. Out of play. Dennis Debanning at first base with a 1-out single. Garces again with a 1-2 on the way. Boscarino waggles the bat. Here it comes. It's inside, 2-2. Dan Mara, the veteran second baseman, on deck for Toronto. Boscarino trying to stay alive here. Count 2 balls, 2 strikes. Frank Garces, the veteran left-hander, is ready. 2-2. And it's in the dirt. The count is full.
Got to imagine Garces in this outing feeling a lot more comfortable with Tyler Plumpton as his catcher. Last week it was set to be Josh Magne. Gets injured just before first pitch, and then it was James Anderson throughout the rest of the ball game.
3 balls, 2 strikes. A pop-up. Should stay in the infield. Second baseman Adam Odd calling for it. On the dirt, makes the catch. And the Leafs strand a runner in the top of the second inning. No score between Toronto and Barrie. Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
Highview Contracting Group in Barrie and Simcoe County, offering award-winning hardscape, interlocking, pools, excavation, and more. Call 705-985-7669 or highviewcontracting.ca. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
Second inning of play is brought to you by Vintage Throw and Barber Lounge, redefining gentlemen one community at a time.
Nolan Macabrota, Tristan Clark, and Adam Odd are due up for the Baycats here at the bottom of the second inning. Ben Davy, Julius Hern, Matty Gale at Athletic Kulture Stadium, our final Thursday night game of 2025. Sixth and final regular season matchup between the Maple Leafs and the Baycats. Baycats got a single off the bat of Brandon Hernandez. He was thrown out on a strike him out, throw him out double play. Francisco Hernandez went down swinging, and you came up with something very clever, and I don't even know if you could repeat this or not, but basically two family names, two surnames were responsible for those last 2 at-bats in the inning.
So Justin Mara made the putout on Francisco Hernandez. Dan Mara made the putout on Brandon Hernandez at second base.
All that without even Franklin Hernandez factoring in. Well, no, because he was pitching.
Yeah.
Right? So you had three Hernandez, three Hernandez, and two Maras involved in 2 at-bats.
And keep in mind, there's also another Mara here, Adam Mara, who isn't even in the game yet. You might see him later on. But I
don't know how you could possibly factor him in. Anyways. As they say, small things amuse small minds.
Exactly.
Pitch to Macabrota, inside. I had the pleasure of sitting with Nolan Macabrota and Tristan Clark and Ryan Rio, Cesar Rosado, Brant Fianfonte, probably a couple of others as well at the Boots and Hearts charity hockey game last night. Baycats had a suite with Josh Matlow and some coaches as well, and Jeremy Allenbrook was there.
It always looks like a fun time.
It was a great night.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it, but I had a lot of people ask me, hey, you're going to go to the game tonight? And I'm like, nah, unfortunately I can't, but it always looks like a fun. I was there last year. And
John Tavares was there. Big donation for his charity. 3-2 to Macabrota. Ball 4.
Seems like the John Tavares Foundation is getting more and more involved every year, which is really nice to see. they were a big part of it in 24. So
A lot of these guys love hockey too. Ryan Rio in particular, huge hockey fan. But I was sitting beside Cesar Rosado, who was watching hockey for the first time in his life. And the game started, and I leaned over to him and I said, "So what do you think?" And he kind of said something like, "Yeah, it doesn't look that hard." Ryan Rio leaned in and he said, "Keep in mind, they are on skates."
it's like a whole other animal.
A good time was had by all.
Now, were you cheering for the Plaid team or the Denim team?
Well, I started.
all.
Yeah, Tavares was playing for the Plaid team, so seemed to be more fans cheering for that team. But the game ended in a tie. I was kind of disappointed. There was no shootout. There was no 3-on-3, no overtime. But
Last year they had a shootout anyway.
yeah, I was a little surprised they didn't have something to end the game just to get a decisive winner. But a lot of money raised for charity, and a ton of fans packed out Sadlin Arena for that last night.
It's very different from watching us play here for the home runs for the Hungry game.
Yeah. Very much so. High fly ball, deep right field. Back is Connect near the wall, looks up, it's gone! A solo bomb by Tristan Clark. Nolan Macabrota comes in to score as well. 2-0 for the Baycats.
Arguably the most consistent hitter on this Barrie Baycats team. The way he's able to drive in runs, that one goes the other way with some power, nearly hitting the scoreboard out in right field. So Tristan Clark getting some early, much-needed runs for the Baycats with Frank Garces in the dugout.
Still nobody out. Adam Odd comes to the plate. So the Baycats draw first blood here tonight against the Leafs. Called strike. Clayton Keys, the right fielder on deck. Pitched by Hernandez. Odd fouls it off, strike 2. '29-year-old Franklin Hernandez deals inside, 1-2. Leafs are off tomorrow. They host Hamilton Saturday night at the Pits. Sunday at 2:05, they're in Chatham-Kent. I gotta wonder how early that bus is leaving for Chatham-Kent on a Sunday morning.
I was talking to Connor Lewis about that earlier.
Really?
And he said they're very different than what the Baycats do. Because the Baycats will go, like we saw early this year, they had a 3-game series in Chatham-Kent. They were going to spend 2 nights, and they did. But the Leafs are very different. They'll go and they'll have a night game like they will this weekend, and then they'll leave at 8 a.m. in the next morning.
Even 8 a.m. sounds like it's cutting it close to me, but
Especially if it's a 2 o'clock start.
2 o'clock start.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know. Sunday traffic, but yeah, not every team can do that scheduling-wise. What Barrie does, basically a 3-day weekend road trip to play out there. They are by far the farthest away from the other teams in the league travel-wise. So,
Because we see Chatham-Kent, when they come here, it's a single game, and a couple times it's been a Thursday night.
3-2. High and foul. And it bounces on the near side of the fence. Souvenir for the youngsters. 2-0 Baycats on a 2-run shot by Tristan Clark. Nolan Macabrota with a walk, and Clark homering to get Barrie on top. Here's the pitch inside. Second walk of the game. On is aboard, and here's Clayton Keys.
Very different start to the outing so far for Franklin Hernandez compared to the last time he pitched against the Baycats, and that was at Christie Pitts. Got to imagine he's probably gotten used to the mound at Christie Pitts. They're being that much higher.
Have you ever stood on that mound?
I've never stood on it, but I've been next to it.
You'll definitely notice it.
Yeah.
I was out there just fooling around one time and stood on the mound, and I was like, wow, it definitely is higher than the other ones around the league.
Well, it's so noticeable on the Leafs broadcast, too. And it's a different perspective because their outfield camera comes from the pitcher's left. it's kind of over that first to
Yes,
second
you make a
base
good
gap.
point. Yeah, there's a few oddities with that park. Obviously, the outfield dimensions. The grass is rounded in a weird way at the corners too. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I have seen that.
Yeah, they're not nice, crisp, sharp corners like we have here with a little bit of a curve once you get to the edge of the grass, but it's just like sloped in.
And obviously that big wall in right field. Kind of make up for that distance.
Throw over. Mentioned the Baycats have not been running a whole lot this season. Adam Odd just 1 stolen base. Count 2-1. Barrie is in Brantford tomorrow night. Kitchener is here Saturday at 4:05. Without Jordan Mandalay. I don't know if you want to get into that here or not, but
That's such an interesting tale.
nobody out in the inning. Let's base hit to left. 2 on for the Baycats. So Jordan Mandalay basically just cut from the team. Despite hitting .328, he was 3rd in RBIs, led in stolen bases, and his season with the Kitchener Panthers is over.
And think about that. He was doing that at 39 years old as well. He's an older player. He's a legend out in Cuba. I talked to him at the All-Star game briefly. You know, he earned his spot there. He was having a fantastic season, and then just all of a sudden, deadline comes around and he's gone.
Quick mound visit as Mara is out to talk to Hernandez. Maybe with that runner at second, they're just going to change the signs up a little bit here. Well, there was an article in the Cuban newspaper or website, cubalight.com. If you want to look it up and you can read and understand Spanish, I was unable to do so, but I got part of it translated. And basically, Mandalay, his point was that he thought that he had been released from the team more for family dynamics, as he said, if that is the proper way to translate what he had said, as opposed to his performance. He thought there were some family dynamics at play. Bunted down the line. They'll let it go foul. Looked like it was going to be a good one from Plumpton.
Perfect situation for Tyler Plumpton, too. That's why you have a player like him in the 8th spot. This exact situation, 2 on, no, or 1 out. Nobody out, pardon me.
Trying to advance the runners. Baycats have done a lot of bunting this year.
Anyway, you mentioned the family dynamics there with this Mandalay situation. Pete Kiefer, first-year manager for the Panthers this year, and kind of a whole new management and ownership with the team this year. He mentioned to me last time the Panthers were here that he was working on trying to get his son, Petey, on the team next year. He was playing on the Panthers junior team, the 22U team. But it seems to me that process has kind of been accelerated now because he was officially signed that same day to the Panthers official roster.
There'll be a lot of scrutiny on his performance, too, if what you're saying is correct and he ends up holding down a spot with the team. That one in tight on Plumpton. Just got a piece of it. But why release Mandalay? And I think that's the question a lot of IBL fans are wondering, and Panther fans in particular. With outstanding numbers like those, why would he be the one let go and not another player on the roster? Seems a bit bizarre.
Because their imports at the time would have been Mandalay, Fuji, Penalve, and then 2 pitchers.
Line drive, base hit to left field. Andrew White is going to wave home Adam Odd. He is in without a throw. 3-0 Barrie. And this inning is shaping up to be an absolute nightmare for Franklin Hernandez. A walk, a home run, and then a walk and back-to-back singles. The Leafs still looking for their first out. Here's acting manager Brian Sewell. Noah Hull coming to the plate. Let's check in with Maddie Gale, who has a report for us.
Yeah, the Baycats are currently on a 4-game losing streak, but the mood with the team remains positive. Veterans like Noel McGarry-Doyle, Nolan Macabroda, and Noah Hall are continuing to lead by example. Earlier this week for Macabroda's birthday, they went to Canada's Wonderland, and they said they had a good time. Noah Hall told me before the game the new ride Alpen Furry was a highlight. But this is a reminder that even during tough stretches, team chemistry and leadership remain strong, and I think we're kind of seeing it in this game so far.
So they went on that new ride, Maddie?
Yes, they did. They said it was the best.
I saw the lineup for that, and in particular a stampede. I don't know if it was the first day that it opened, but there was a throng of people that just started running towards that ride. I can't even begin to imagine how long people were waiting to go on.
Yeah, it didn't open until June, if I'm not mistaken. So it's the new thing there.
Well, nice for the guys to get a chance to have some fun and celebrate Nolan's birthday, and glad everyone was okay. Noah Hall, the number 9 hitter tonight. There's the throw. Oh, just back in time was Keys. An absolute laser by Justin Mara. Keys has just drifted a long way off that second base bag. Looked like the throw down was the last thing he was expecting.
A great release there from Justin Mara. You can tell Keys was really running a risk there of not sliding back into the second base bag. And
he was kind of nonchalant on the return, and I'm sure he won't do that again.
You can sell a bit more modest lead on his part now.
Hall showing bunt, pulls it back. Castaldo charging on the square by Hall, and I think he was kind of arguing there that Hall offered. 1-1 the count. One and two. So are you going to get a chance to go on that new ride at Wonderland?
I haven't been to Wonderland in a couple of years. Last time I was there was actually a Halloween haunt. But I've never been much of a thrill seeker. So maybe later this summer we'll see what happens. But definitely I will if I get there again, for sure.
1-2 pitch. Hit him. That'll load the bases.
How about you, Ben? You much of a thrill seeker?
Yeah, I love rides. There are certain roller coasters that are off limits for me now, and I find it's mostly the old ones, like Mindbuster,
Yeah.
Wildebeest, the rickety roller coasters. It's too much jarring for my neck and my back. And I don't like the spinny ones anymore. So, but I like the high hills, Behemoth, Leviathan, great on those. I did Yukon Striker, no problem.
Yeah.
This new one, though, I'm not sure. Looks like it's on a whole new, different level. But as a parent, I used to put my kids on these rides, and we would stand there and watch them and pray that they'd be okay. Now we go on the rides, and we pray that we're okay. It's completely in reverse. Still in the bottom of the second inning. 7th Baycats at bat, Noel McGarry-Doyle. Nowhere to put him. Keys, Plumpton, Hall all aboard. First pitch hit weakly foul. Toronto exploded to a massive lead over the Baycats at Christie Pitts. Barrie can return the favor here tonight.
Very different way they're doing it, though. It's been a couple free passes, a hit batter, and a walk, but 4 hits already and nobody out still in the second.
I think Toronto led 10-0 at one point in that game. Baycats fought back to make it respectable.
9.
9-0.
They got the 10th in the bottom of the 8th.
So it was a 9-0 Toronto lead. I think the final was 10-6.
Yes. Yeah, Barrie had a 6-run 8th.
No balls, 2 strikes to McGarry-Doyle. Big pitch coming up here from Franklin Hernandez. Here he comes. Swing and a miss. 1 out in the inning.
Big strikeout there for Hernandez, especially against the leadoff hitter for Barrie, Noel McGarry-Doyle. You know what kind of damage he can do with runners on.
Only 1 out of the inning, but that did feel absolutely huge. Sets up the possible double play now to get the Leafs off the field. 3-0 Barrie lead. So the visit from Brian Sewell, obviously effective for Franklin Hernandez. So Avery Matlow, our super fan down behind home plate, is yelling, "Come on, Mr. Hernandez." He needs to specify it's Brandon that he's cheering for, not Franklin here. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Franklin Hernandez dialing it up a bit now. 1-1.
Still nobody throwing in the Leafs bullpen, but now a couple arms getting stretched out.
3 runs for Barrie already here in the second. They're looking for more. Hernandez trying to escape this inning. Keep the score within reach. That one inside. 2 balls and a strike. Brandon singled in the first and then was caught stealing on a strike him out, throw him out double play. Franklin kicks and deals. High and outside. 3-1, and Brandon knows he's going to see something good here.
Brandon Hernandez 2 for 5 in that game against the Leafs at Christie Pitts at the end of July.
Is that the 10-6 game?
Yep.
3-1. From Franklin to Brandon. Ball 4, another run comes home. Clayton Keys is the 4th run for Barrie, and this one's starting to get ugly in a hurry. That is the 3rd walk of the inning.
Saw Brian Sewell kind of make a signal out to the bullpen. A lefty is now throwing for Toronto.
Certainly the last thing he wanted was his starter tonight to get into trouble in the second inning. This is the 9th Baycats at bat here. Francisco Hernandez takes the first pitch. It's a called strike. So on the bases now, Plumpton at 3rd, Hull at 2nd, Brandon Hernandez at 1st. This inning started with a 2-run homer off the bat of Tristan Clark. High and foul, right side. Yeah, remember that 9-0 game got out of hand in such a hurry. I actually left the ball game to go get some cookies on Bloor Street and came back, and suddenly the Baycats were mounting a comeback.
You love that cookie place, man.
Yeah, I do. It's pretty much the only reason I go to Christie Pitts. No, I'm just kidding. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. High, 1-2.
It's crazy. You usually think that a 2-run homer, like we saw in the case of Tristan Clark, usually a rally killer. But early on, the Baycats showing that they know how to get it going right away again. And that's going to be key in the playoffs. You don't want a home run to kind of settle things down for an opposing pitcher who's struggling. You want to keep that energy going.
Yeah, that home run seemed to give life to the rest of the lineup. Lifted down the line, it'll slice foul. Well, Franklin Hernandez, no one to blame but himself for how this inning has unfolded. 3 walks in the inning. Back-to-back-to-back base hits from Keys, Plumpton, and Hull, the 7, 8, 9 hitters. This is not how anybody in that Toronto dugout wanted this inning to be drawn up. 1-2, here's the pitch. Framed by Mara. He wanted that call. It was just outside. 2-2.
Strong take there from Francisco Hernandez.
Mara frames those pitches as well as anyone in the league. Did not get the call there from home plate umpire Keith Corville. 2-2. Sets up in almost the exact same spot and it's fouled back to the screen.
Just the 3rd at-bat this year for Francisco Hernandez with the bases loaded, yet to have a hit in this situation. His brother yet to have a hit with the bases loaded this year as well.
Neither Hernandez with a base hit with the bases loaded.
Correct.
Interesting. Well, a chance to erase that little statistical anomaly right here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bases loaded. 1 out. Pitch from Franklin Hernandez. That's off the plate, and the count is full. These Barrie hitters not making this easy for Franklin Hernandez at all.
The Baycats coming in today have only had 24 at-bats with the bases loaded this year, 3 hits. Just 167 average. But 14 RBI.
3-2 from Franklin Hernandez coming up. Here it is. Ball 4, another run is home. And with a left-hander warming in the Toronto bullpen, you would have to think Franklin Hernandez is coming to the end of the line. Here's Brian Sewell. And it looks like, indeed, we will get a pitching change here as the Baycats will send their 10th hitter to the plate. Sewell gets the baseball, and that will do it for Franklin Hernandez. A very short Thursday night outing for him here tonight in Barrie. Leafs go to the bullpen. We'll step aside. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie. Baycats still batting in the bottom of the second inning. 10th batter to hit will be Nolan Macabrota. They will face left-hander Nathan Curra.
Nathan Curra, big man, 6'4", 219 pounds out of Georgetown, just 20 years old. Same hometown as Ben Abram of the Welland Jackfish, similar kind of frame as well, same height. This is his 8th appearance of the year. He's got 1 start under his belt, a 4.80 ERA, and a 1-0 record in 15 innings.
Noah Hull at third, Brandon Hernandez at second, Francisco Hernandez at first. It's a first pitch strike to Nolan Macabrota. This inning started with a walk to the man at the plate. Tristan Clark followed with a 2-run homer. That feels like an eternity ago. 1-1 the count.
Nathan Curra out of University of Akron. The Zips.
Here's the pitch. Fastball and a swing and a miss. Macabrota couldn't catch up.
Macabrota was very late on that one, too.
He's down on strikes, 2 outs in the inning.
Left fielder number 6, Tristan Clark.
Here's Clark. 1 for 1, a 2-run homer. 5-0 Barrie. Off speed, gets it over for a strike. Only 4 hits for the Baycats in this inning. 5 runs out of it.
I mentioned earlier about Baycats are low average with the bases loaded this year, just 3 hits. Tristan Clark has 2 of them and 3 at-bats coming into tonight.
On the ground foul. Well, a 5-0 lead is nice, but this is where you'd really love to do some damage against a team like Toronto that you know is capable of the big comebacks. You'd love to just kind of get that safe lead and just build it early in this ball game. Runners aboard, Hull, Brandon Hernandez, and Francisco Hernandez. 1-2 the count. Kura kicks and delivers. Outside, 2-2.
It almost seemed like Kura was kind of rushed out of the bullpen a little bit. He wasn't throwing for very long.
2-2 pitch. And it's a fly ball to right field. And reaching down and making the catch is Marcus Connect. The Baycats leave the bases loaded in the second inning, but they score 5 runs. We played 2 here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats!
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp. See you this summer!
What if a thrift store could change lives? Barrie Families Unite is making it happen. Essential needs support for those families in our community who need it most. Charity gives. Dignity empowers.
Ben Davy, Julius Hern, Matty Gale at Athletic Kulture Stadium. It's Barrie 5, Toronto nothing. Frank Garces back out to work the top of the third. If you're just joining us, this game is not on tape delay. It did not rain. We are 1 hour into this game and we have played exactly 2 innings. A 5-run second for the Baycats.
You were saying in the half-inning break you felt like you called 5 innings.
I do.
The last half inning.
It feels like you should be taking over right
oh
now.
My.
A normal ball game right about now, you probably would be. It's had nothing to do with this man. Frank Garces has been dealing. Just 1 leaf has reached base. That was a single by Dennis Devanning. And if you missed it, Frank took care of business early in this game, right from the first batter. A strikeout of Ryan DeSantos set the franchise single-season strikeout record. Deep fly ball to right field. 1 away.
Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. 2 other games going on in the IBL as we speak, and it could be a pennant-clinching night for the Welland Jackfish. Bottom of the 4th, they're up 4-0 against the Brantford Red Sox. Meanwhile, in Kitchener, the Panthers are up 3-1 in the bottom of the 4th against the London Majors. So very different pacings to this game and those 2 games.
And it's packed the park night, so these fans obviously delighted with a 5-0 lead here. We've seen a lot of baseball in just 2 innings so far. And a long way to go here still tonight.
The crowd in Welland, I'm sure, is going to be very excited to potentially see their team clinch a 3rd consecutive pennant.
Well, that'll be a big moment for them. Keep in mind, their 2023 championship clinching game was here in Barrie. So the fans didn't get to enjoy that at home when it happened. And you mentioned the pennant last year happened by virtue of a Baycat loss, right?
Yes.
So
and they were idle that day.
They weren't even involved in that game.
Yeah, Baycats lost in Kitchener on a Sunday afternoon. The Jackfish were idle that day. They weren't playing. So that half game that the Baycats dropped meant the Jackfish won the pennant that day.
A walk from Garces to Spencer Ross on 4 pitches. He loses the number 9 hitter. Here's Ryan DeSantos.
Third baseman, number 8, Ryan Dos Santos.
When you think about all the success that the Welland Jackfish have had over the last 2 or 3 years here in the IBL, it is surprising they haven't had more of those big moments at home for their fans at Welland Stadium.
Just seems to be kind of the way the cookie crumbles a little bit, right? Like the Baycats, they've won 8 championships, but only 2 of them have been at home.
And last year's, of course, was in Guelph. Swing and a miss. Fans here in Barrie got to enjoy games 1 and 3 of that series, and Baycats, of course, swept the Royals 4 straight. 0-1 to DeSantos. And another called strike. DeSantos, high strikeouts, high walks. 47 strikeouts, 40 walks.
He was telling me before the game, and despite being a leadoff hitter and a very good one at that, he says he doesn't think he's ever walked against Garces.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah. Led the league in walks last year, but Garces, they rarely come from him.
Well, Frank doesn't serve up many. I'm surprised DeSantos' average is 252.
Me too.
When you look at how much he gets on base and scores. There's a line drive to center field. Base hit. That'll nudge that up a little bit. And the Toronto fans here in Barrie finally get something to cheer about.
We have a vehicle that is illegally parked.
Back-to-back
in the
base
city
runners,
parking lot
Ross
with
and
the,
DeSantos.
plate number D as in David, B as in Bob, X as in Xerox, Z as in Zebra, 2, 5,
John
7.
Javier, the
Ford
DH.
Escape, a gray Ford Escape, if that's yours. Please move your vehicle now as it is blocking the way of a handicapped parking spot and vehicle. Thank you.
The boos you hear in the crowd are thanks to an announcement by our PA announcer, Rob Daniels, that a car is illegally parked in a handicap spot and is being asked to move. So nobody happy about that here. 0-1 the count to John Javier. A lot of these players drive up. I mean, what if you're on the field and you hear your license plate announced? You got to finish the half inning.
I know, right?
I mean,
and at that point, if let's say you're coming out the next half inning, you got to tell one of your teammates to be like, "Hey, take my keys."
The walk of shame to move your car.
Usually, don't see them as, usually you see a bit more nonchalant than what we just saw here. But
1 ball, 1 strike to John Javier. Pitch looked pretty good, but Garces didn't get the call. 2-1. Even Javier, I think, thought that one crossed the plate. Counts in his favor, 2 balls and a strike. 2-1 for the Leafs. Swing and a miss. Strike 2.
It's been a really nice year for John Javier, first year in the IBL. Comes in tonight, leading the Leafs in hits with 53, but just 1 back of Jonah Weisner and Brendan Luther of the Jackfish for the league lead.
Here's the pitch. It's a high pop-up. Could be playable. Plumped it off with the mask. Makes the catch at the on-deck circle. Two down in the inning. Here comes Jordan Castaldo.
Number 5, Jordan Castaldo.
Castaldo was Garces' second strikeout victim of the game. 3 up, 3 down first. 2 on for him here with 2 outs in the third.
And a former teammates back in 2018. So
that's right.
You got to imagine Castaldo's happy for Garces to pick up the record tonight. Probably happy that wasn't against him.
Yeah, true. You knew it was going to happen at some point. There's no way Frank's not breaking that record tonight.
I was surprised that he ended up tying it last game. 120 pitch outing for him and 11 strikeouts last Thursday.
It was 3 straight. Did he strike out 3 in a row? I think he did.
He did. He had runners on second and third in the 7th inning and struck out the next 3 batters.
That was a big inning for Frank. And the end of the night for him. Set the table for a piece of history here tonight that these fans got to enjoy. There's a called strike to Castaldo. He didn't like that. So Frank getting one back after maybe not getting one in the Javier at bat.
Well, Castaldo struck out looking in the first, too, and he wasn't happy about the call that ended the inning for Toronto either.
No balls, 2 strikes. Garces to Castaldo. Swung on and missed. Strike 3 for Vintage Throne Barber Lounge. The Maple Leafs strand 2 in the top of the 3rd. Still 5-0 Barrie through 2.5. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
For the Maple Leafs in the top.
Hi, I'm Chrissy Fentz from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
It's the 2025 IBL Home Run Derby and All-Star Game, hosted by the Hamilton Cardinals at beautiful Bernie Arbor Stadium. Watch the league's top sluggers crush moonshots in the Derby. Then see the best of the best go head-to-head under the lights in the All-Star Game.
Third inning of play is brought to you by Vintage Throne Barber Lounge, redefining gentlemen one community at a time.
4 hits for Barrie in the bottom of the 2nd inning. They exploded for 5 runs, though, sending 11 men to the plate. Our junior Baycat announcer tonight introduces Adam Odd to lead off the bottom of the 3rd. Odd walked and scored in the 2nd.
Baycats sent 11 to the plate in the 2nd inning. First 5 of them all reached and scored. In fact, the first 6 overall reached, with Noah Hull being stranded at 3rd.
It was a short night for Franklin Hernandez, and really you couldn't come up with 2 innings more polar opposite for him than the 1st and the 2nd. You got to strike him out, throw him out, double play for a 3-up, 3-down first. And then 11 Baycats coming to the plate. This one hits the umpire. It's a foul ball, though.
It was a fair ball. It was a fair ball, went off of Chubave. He called it fair and then called it dead as it went off of him.
Well, Odd is coming back to the plate.
It was definitely a fair ball, and here comes Josh Matlow to make his point.
If I was, so I'm interested in why Odd didn't just continue to first, just to be safe, because right now they could throw over and he's out either way. I'm surprised the Leafs haven't done that.
Brian Backland, our producer, is also telling us because it was beyond the bag at third, it should be a live ball still, even if it goes off the umpire.
Yeah. The call on the field is foul.
Interesting. Definitely didn't look like the right call there. Andrew White, third base coach for the Baycats. He knew it.
I'm surprised the Leafs didn't throw to first to be safe because Odd didn't complete the trip to first base.
Chubba Vey, the third base umpire, called it dead right away.
So the count is 2-2.
Because I saw him make the fair sign, like pointing into fair territory, and then the ball hits him.
That one glances off his bat. Count holds 2 balls, 2 strikes. Umpires tonight, Keith Corville behind home plate, Scott Costello at first, Chubba Vey at third. Chubba with that legendary goatee that is the best in the IBL by far. Called strike 3. 1 down in the inning.
Really nice pitch there from Kerr. Let a late break on that pitch and fooled Adam on. It wasn't, tried to take it thinking he was inside, but it catches the inside part of the zone. Really well placed pitch.
Clayton Keys comes to the plate. Fouls it back. 0-1 the count. Keys singled and scored in that 5-run second inning.
Kerr has already got more strikeouts than Franklin Hernandez did. He's got 2.
Called strike.
Surprising because Hernandez had 8 through 5 innings about 2 weeks ago and at Christie Pitts.
Kerr did a great job putting out the fire, limiting it to a 5-run second. Could have been a lot worse. Baycats left the bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Foul back.
Keys just trying to protect there. Had to swing at that one, get a little piece of it. You even notice Kerr, he went back to the bullpen in the Leafs half of the third inning. Like I mentioned earlier, it seemed like he was kind of being rushed out of there.
You think he was finishing his warm-up tosses?
Yeah.
Called strike 3 on a pitch that looked inside to Keys. He takes off his helmet and looks at the umpire in disbelief. 2 down.
Yeah, that had to have been the high inside corner part of the zone on Keys. You understand why he's not happy with the call, but he's got to be careful.
Well, Keys was one of several Baycats who were highly frustrated with the balls and strikes at Christie Pitts the last time these teams played. It wasn't Keith Corville behind the plate that night. I can't recall who it was, but... Oh, and 1 the count to Plumpton. High fly ball. Center field for Dennis Devanning. 3 up, 3 down. Baycat third. How about that? After scoring 5 and sending 11 to the plate in the second. They go quickly and quietly here in the bottom of the third inning. 5-0 Barrie through 3. You're watching Rogers TV and Baycats TV on YouTube.
The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield.
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run.
Those winning ticket numbers, you can claim your prize in the Baycats merch booth tonight. Congratulations. The fourth inning of play is presented
Top of the fourth inning at Athletic Kulture Stadium, our final night game of the 2025 regular season, and the Baycats comfortably on top of the Maple Leafs by a score of 5-0. Marcus Connect is due up to lead it off for the Maple Leafs. Baycats looking to snap a 4-game losing streak. Try to get some momentum through their final 5 here in the regular season. And it's a first pitch strike from Frank Garces.
The run support early is the key to this game for the Baycats. They really struggle with that in Frank Garces' starts throughout the year.
0-2. Garces with 4 strikeouts tonight, so put him at 109 now for the franchise record. 0-2. High and away. Here's the pitch from the left-hander. Swung on a miss. Strike 3. It's brought to you by Vintage Throne Barber Lounge. 110 strikeouts for Frank Garces here in 2025.
5 on the game now for Garces through 3 1/3, and he's gotten Jordan Castaldo and Marcus Connect, arguably the 2 most dangerous bats in this lineup both times.
Well, that's something you don't see very often. Those two combined 0 for 4, all strikeouts. He has their numbers tonight. Dennis DeBanning got the first single for the Leafs in this game. Pitch from Frank, on the ground, foul.
Mentioned the run support kind of being an issue, and Josh Matlow mentioned that to me after Garces' last start against the Jackfish last week. After that game, and coming in today, I guess, Baycats offense had only given Garces 35 runs of support across the first 11 starts.
Wow. Really changes your approach to the game when you're able to pitch with a nice early lead, such as Frank is here tonight. One and 2 the count. DeBanning waggles the bat. Garces looks in. Rocks into the windup. 1-2 pitch. Popped up towards us. And it is foul just to our right.
It had a trajectory. It looked like it had a chance to get to us.
There was a young guy right there with a red cap. I thought he was going to try to make a play on that. He just bailed. He just said, nope, I'm not going home with a sore hand, and stepped aside. I mean, that's a pro move. If you don't want to take it, why get in the way? One and 2. Plumpton sets the target. Here's the pitch. And it's low and away. No runs, 2 hits for the Leafs. 5 on 4 for Barrie. Here comes the crowd on Pack the Park night. 0-2. Strike 3 called. Brought to you by Vintage Throne Barber Lounge. 2 strikeouts for Frank Garces as he gets Connect and DeBanning back-to-back.
3 straight now after the inning-ending K to Castaldo in the 3rd.
.111 on the season. Justin Morrow. Morrow hit a fly ball to center field in the 2nd inning. Morrow with a 287 average coming into today. Pitches down low, 2-1.
He had the first hit of the game at Christie Pitts last week, and it was a 2-run homer off of Jonathan Warden. It was only in the third inning, but at that point it was already well out of reach for the Baycats.
Yeah, walks really led to Warden's downfall in that game. An unfortunate outcome for the rookie. Big moment for him at Christie Pitts, but just didn't go his way in the early innings. 3 balls and a strike. Five-0 Barrie. We're in the 4th inning. Did he check his swing? It's a called strike anyway, 3-2.
Garces usually doesn't get into these full counts. It's kind of a rarity from him.
His pitch count going into the inning was 50 pitches, 35 strikes. He'll try to end the inning with a strikeout here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch on the way from Frank Garces. He struck out the side. 4 straight for Frank Garces as he sprints back to the Barrie dugout. And the Baycats on top 5-0 as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
Highview Contracting Group in Barrie and Simcoe County, offering award-winning hardscape, interlocking, pools, excavation, and more. Call 705-985-7669 or highviewcontracting.ca. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
The 4th inning of play is brought to you by Vintage Throne Barber Lounge, redefining gentlemen one community at a time.
And the gentlemen of Vintage Throne Barber Lounge were on the field for our ceremonial first pitch tonight, which Claudio threw out, and a really nice way to start off this ball game. We appreciate the fine work of Daniel, Sabrina, and everybody, the whole team at Vintage Throne Barber Lounge, putting this night together for us, and their support all season long. Noah Hall to lead it off.
I told Sabrina I'd be back in a couple weeks to get a pre-playoff cut.
Yeah, it's a monthly ritual for me, especially during the season. There's a strike to Hull. Hull, hit by a pitch, was stranded in that 5-run second inning. And by the way, if you go to Vintage Throne Barber Lounge for make an appointment for a haircut, beard trim, or whatever other type of service, get there a couple minutes early because they always serve you a nice espresso while you wait and take really good care of you as soon as you arrive. So, 2-1 pitch, fouled away. We are going to have a beautiful orange moon tonight. I can see it through the trees. It's going to take its position above the outfield probably in a couple of innings. But we had a nice orange moon last Thursday night's game.
it was kind of right over center field. It was really nice to see.
Yeah, it was a little hazier that night, but I think we're going to get a nicer view of that moon here this evening. This is a very comfortable night. A cool wind, which we haven't had much of this season. 3-2. Fly ball left field. Boscarino over. It'll drop in front of him. A good, strong throw in holds Noah Hull to a single.
Perfect, like seeing eye single there from Noah Hall right down that left field line. But you mentioned the throw by Boscarino. He really got that in quickly and held Hall to a single. Because a ball like that, most runners, usually that could be extra bases.
Hull had no interest in testing his arm, and Boscarino made a perfect throw. So that snaps the streak of 5 in a row retired by Curra. And here's leadoff man Noel McGarry Doyle. Lefty-lefty matchup here. That one gets away, goes to the backstop, and up 90 feet is Noah Hull.
You know, just a spiked breaking ball there out of the hand of Curra.
So the count is 2-0. Barrie up 5-0. Could have been worse. They stranded the bases loaded in the second inning, thanks in large part to some great pitching by Curra in relief of Franklin Hernandez, who started this game. There's a strike. Two on outside. 3-1 the count to Noel McGarry Doyle. Here's the pitch. All 4. Open base. McGarry Doyle will take it, and there are 2 on. The Hernandez brothers do up. Brandon and then Francisco.
A lot of 4 true outcomes in this game already across the Baycats score sheet. Home run from Clark. Quite a few strikeouts now from Nathan Curra. A couple walks and a hit batter as well in the midst of this game so far.
Curra has struck out 3. Short relief appearance so far. That one up high. Count even to Brandon Hernandez.
Well, nobody throwing right now in the Leafs bullpen, so you got to imagine Curra's kind of the quote-unquote long man in this scenario.
Little chopper past the shortstop into left field, and a late stop sign. They're going to have to send him home, and he scores. Looked like Noah Hull was rounding third, guns a-blazing. It was a late stop sign to hold him, but right on his heels was Noel McGarry Doyle, and that kind of forced him to make his way home anyways. Unfortunately, he got home in plenty of time.
Well, he got lucky there. A bobble from Boscarino in left field. Hull kind of stopped as after he rounded third, turned back around, and saw Boscarino had to go back for the ball, and that was an easy lane for him to come in and score.
I think McGarry Doyle picked up that bobble, and that's why he was well on his way to third, with Hull hitting the brakes after rounding third. It all worked out in the end, though. Hull is the 6th Barrie run to score. Runners on the corners now for the Baycats. Still nobody out here. Bottom of the 4th inning. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. It's a 1-1 count to Francisco Hernandez. Strikeout and a walk tonight for Francisco. Hernandez had a big game, 3 for 4 against the Kitchener Panthers. in that 9-4 loss. Runner goes, and no throw down. Justin Mara bluffed, but didn't want to let go of that baseball because he saw who was at third. So Brandon Hernandez takes second, uncontested. 2 in scoring position now.
Yeah, Francisco had a home run, kind of in garbage time in that game, but great performance nonetheless.
Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nathan Kura to the belt, kicks and delivers. Down the line, foul. And that is into the Barrie bullpen. Or just past it. Count holds at 2-2. One run in already for Barrie here in the 4th. 6-0 Baycats. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3. Frozen is Hernandez, and there's 1 out of the inning as we check in once again with Maddie Gale.
Francisco Hernandez has continued to take on the designated hitter role for the Baycats, and while the team has been in a bit of a slump lately, he says he's embracing the challenge. He told me he's enjoying the DH spot. It's allowed him to really focus on his approach at the plate and stay mentally sharp throughout the game. Even though it's been a tough few outings for the team, he's keeping a positive mindset and doing what he can to help shift the momentum.
Thank you, Maddie. Macabrota to the plate now with a walk, a run scored, and a strikeout.
Kind of saw a little bit of a change with Francisco Hernandez. He was started the year as a leadoff hitter, first 3 games, then gets bumped down to the 9 spot to kind of change things up and was very successful, but then he got injured.
1-0 pitch, and it's a base hit to right field. On the ground and through, that should score a pair. The ball is dropped in right field. McGarry Doyle and Brandon Hernandez both scoring on an RBI single for Nolan Macabrota.
Left fielder number 6, Tristan.
So a 3-run 4th for Barrie. Still only 1 out. Ryan Sewell out for a chat with the left-hander.
Yeah, a couple arms are heading down to the Leafs bullpen now.
Nobody ready at the moment, so this will just buy a little bit of time. Looks like Keith Corville, the home plate umpire, is going to give the Leafs as much time as they want here. And now he heads over to the Baycats dugout. Get some baseballs.
Get baseballs.
And now he'll take the walk out to the mound.
Saw Ben Sidorenios and Adam Mara make their way out to the bullpen.
I don't know what the conversation is here. It sure is taking a long time. Brian Sewell with a word for the home plate umpire now. Maybe that's what he was waiting for. And he's been tossed. That's exactly what he was waiting for. He was not going anywhere until he got his 2 cents in, and boy, did he ever. He didn't say much, but it was short and to the point, and Keith Corville tossed him.
You got to imagine what was being said down there, because it didn't look like anything was, from our perspective anyway, was kind of leading up to that. But Brian Sewell obviously upset with something with home plate umpire Keith Corville, and he's been ejected. 2nd straight time the Leafs have been here, and their manager, at least acting manager, has been ejected. First with Rob Butler, and now with Brian Sewell.
Sewell's conversation probably with something like this. It's the home plate umpire I want to talk to, so we're just going to stand here and wait for him to come and break up our conversation. In the meantime, it's an off day tomorrow. What are you guys doing? Blah, 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 blah. Here he comes. And then whatever Sewell said after that got him tossed. There's a base hit down the left field line. That's going to be extra bases. Macabrota to third. They'll hold him there. It's a stand-up double for Tristan Clark.
Second baseman, number 26.
Couple extra base hits now for Tristan Clark in this ball game. It's kind of been the biggest spark of these two crooked numbers the Baycats have put up so far, a home run and a double.
Sewell might have been upset with the balls and strikes, but there were a number of calls that actually went in Toronto's favor tonight, too. One in particular to John Javier that comes to mind.
Well, you're absolutely right with kind of maybe how that conversation was going to go, because those conversations are never really about baseball.
Well, in that case, it probably wasn't. It was twofold. He was buying time for his relievers, and he was waiting for the home plate umpire to come out and break it up. Here's a grounder. A high hop to second. One play, that's to first. It's in time for the out. Another run scores. Macabroda is in. Odd drives in the run.
Right fielder number 43.
Clayton Keys will be the 8th Baycat to bat here in the 4th. Rob Butler, the Maple Leaf manager, serving a suspension. He's not with the team here today.
He was ejected from the game in Chatham, so kind of back-to-back chances where he was ejected, serves a one-game suspension, comes back, ejected again, serving another one-game suspension.
Who handles managerial duties tonight for the rest of the game, I wonder?
It's Adam Mara. The three Mara brothers are listed as the other members of the coaching staff, and he's the only one not in the game right now.
1-0 pitch.
In fact, Adam Mara is out in the bullpen.
If he's warming up in the bullpen and he's the acting manager, I guess he can put himself in the game whenever he's ready. Not an uncommon situation. Of course, Baycat fans remember Angus Roy managing and pitching, and might seem a little odd at first, but everyone got used to it. Oh, 4-pitch walk to Clayton Keys, and the Baycats are going to bat around here in the 4th. The 9th hitter is Tyler Plumpton.
Catcher number 44, Tyler.
Yeah, Ben Sidorenios is the one throwing in the bullpen right now. Mara came back, so it definitely looks like he's going to be the acting manager the rest of this one. It's been a lot of player managers in the last decade of Maple Leafs history.
Very true.
Garrett Takamatsu comes to mind, Damon Topley.
High fly ball, center field. It'll stay in the park. Gabe Anning makes the catch, and that will do it. Baycats send 9 to the plate in the 4th, and they add 4 more to make it a 9-0 lead through 4. Julius on the mic to call innings 5 and 6 when we return to Athletic Kulture Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
And 2 left on base.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room, and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats!
What if a thrift store could change lives? Barrie Families Unite is making it happen. Essential needs support for those families in our community who need it most. Charity gives. Dignity empowers.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
See you this summer.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run.
At a time.
Top of the fifth inning, Athletic Kulture Stadium, another Pack the Park night, the third of the year. And it's a really nice crowd out still, and a game that's kind of felt like it's dragged on a little bit, but Baycats out in front, 9-0. Frank Garces has held the Maple Leafs to just 2 hits over the course of the first 4 as Luca Boscarino pops it up, back of short. And it'll be Brandon Hernandez in shallow left center to make the catch.
Quick check on the out-of-town scoreboard. Looks like the Welland Jackfish are on their way to clinching the 2025 IBL pennant. A 7-0 lead over the Brantford Red Sox at Welland Stadium. So what a party they'll have there tonight if the Jackfish can hold on to that win and mathematically clinch the IBL pennant. Elsewhere in Kitchener, Panthers will be here Saturday, of course. They are up 4-2 on London, the team that Barrie is now trying to track down for second place.
Yeah, it seems to be the similar case we saw last year, Barrie and London and fighting it out for that number 2 seed. Barrie had a win the very last day of the season to clinch that number 2 spot.
Well, a Baycat win, if this score holds, and that score holds, 4-2 Kitchener right now over London, that would put them dead even. 6 games, both teams would be 6 games behind Welland, assuming that they win tonight.
This is Danmar, pardon me. On the ground to third, a hop into the belly of Noah Hall, but he gathers, makes a throw, outside part of the bag. A nice stretch there from Nolan Macabro to complete the out.
Shortstop number 2, Spencer Ross.
Number 9 hitter Spencer Ross walked and was stranded at second his first time up, the only time the Leafs have had a runner in scoring position so far.
You look at the IBL standings, the Baycats could still mathematically finish anywhere as high as second and as low as 7th.
That's how crammed the middle of the standings are.
So
only 4 games separate a lot of teams.
5 games separate Barrie and Toronto right now. So in theory, if Toronto won all 5 and Barrie lost all 5, the Leafs would have the head-to-head advantage. And so Barrie could finish 7th. It probably won't happen, but it could.
Popped up again. Middle of the infield, it's going to be Adam Odd who makes the catch. A 1-2-3 inning for Frank Garces. The Baycats headed to the second half of this ball game, still up 9-0. Bottom half of the 5th coming up on Baycats TV.
From 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
We go to the bottom of the 5th inning here at Vintage Throne, or this Pack the Park event brought to you by Vintage Throne Barber Lounge here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. Redefining gentlemen, One community at a time. I got all the words in there. I just threw them together in a bowl of alphabet soup, so there you go. Benjamin Sidorenios on to pitch for the Leafs.
Third pitcher of the game for the Toronto Maple Leafs is 22-year-old Benjamin Sidorenios, the IBL rookie. Back to the right-hander. Noah Hall, first pitch, fouled away left side.
Just his second appearance of the season, both in relief. 3 strikeouts, no walks. Has yet to allow an earned run. First season in the IBL.
He's been a two-way player for this season, but this is a great opportunity to get him some innings ahead of the playoffs to work that arm a little bit.
Last pitching appearance June 10th in Brantford. Picked up the win, 2 innings in the 14-8 win over the Red Sox.
That was that game that the Red Sox blew in the 9th. So at that point, he came in a blowout.
Now that was 2 months ago, and you remember that game?
Yeah.
Amazing. I can't remember what happened last week.
22-year-old from Richmond Hill. He's got a 1-2 count on Noah Hall. Hall flies it out into left field, slicing towards the left field line, and Boscarino makes a running catch in fair territory. All right, Ben, so I have a piece of Baycats trivia I want to stick with you and the fans for about an inning or so.
Excellent. Looking forward to this.
Historic night for Frank Garces.
Yes.
Gets the record single-season Baycats strikeout record, if you're just joining us. Did that very first batter of the game, and Ryan Dos Santos, by his very first IBL appearance, was here against the Maple Leafs. Who got the first hit off of Frank Garces in his first outing?
I would be totally guessing, but okay, so it was against Toronto?
It was against Toronto.
And it was in 2018, we know that. And it was here.
It was here.
At what was then known as Coates Stadium. Okay, well, we'll let our viewers at home mull that one over. 2018 Leafs.
Yeah.
All right.
Let the fans sit with that for about an inning.
Mm-hmm.
1-2 to Noel McGarry-Doyle's up high. Baycats 5 in the second, 4 in the fourth. Pitch from Sidorenios, line into left field. That's a base hit. Down the left field line. Going for 2 is Noel McGarry-Doyle. He's going to get there standing up. Extra bases for the Baycats leadoff man.
And second time McGarry-Doyle has been aboard tonight. No trouble getting to second base on that well-placed base hit.
First hit for Noel McGarry-Doyle in this ball game. Brings up Brandon Hernandez, who had an RBI single his last time up. Pitch from Sidorenios is fouled away. Sidorenios, a product of Salem University, Division II school. That one far up and away. We saw a lot of action with the 22U Baycats this year. First time that the Baycats have had such affiliate program. But Sidorenios, a veteran of the national championships, which are ongoing right now, and out in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. Sidorenios, a national champion himself at that level and won silver twice.
Have you been following that at all?
I saw they had a home run derby a couple days ago. I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, that is cool.
Fouled away by Hernandez.
Yeah, just a tremendous success with the 22U program here in Barrie, and they're looking to build on that next season, of course. And it's been a good pipeline of players that have really been able to contribute to the IBL ball club and also help advance these young players in their own baseball careers as well.
1-2 slash foul again. That one right into near the bleacher section near that Toronto dugout. Don't really see that section that full, but in a pack the park night like we have this evening,
Yeah, the fans always seem to pack out the first base line for whatever reason. I guess that's the Barrie dugout, so those bleachers are sometimes a little emptier, but there's a good crowd there tonight.
Breaking ball in on Hernandez, counts 2-2. Yeah, a lot of those 22U players now are likely headed off to school pretty soon, so we might not see a lot of them towards the back half of August or into the playoffs.
Even got some fans tonight over the outfield fence, the right field foul pole there, peeking over the wall.
I remember a couple seasons ago, there was some little cutouts of, not cutouts of the banners, but banners were placed in such a way that there was a section like we see in left field where there's a section of bleachers and
yeah, there are
a
section of seats out there.
High fly ball, center field. Dennis Day Banning settled underneath it, makes the catch, taking up is Noel McGarry Doyle. He's going to get to third base standing up. So productive at bat there from Brandon Hernandez. Now a runner on third with 2 out. Nine runs on 9 hits for the Baycats. Just 2 hits so far for the Maple Leafs. First pitch is up and in on Hernandez. I was mentioning earlier the success of Francisco Hernandez in the number 9 spot in the Baycats order, and since moving up back to the 3 since recovering from his injury. Fouls that one away out of play.
Francisco Hernandez and Adam Odd, the only 2 Baycats that don't have hits in this game, but everybody has reached base at some point. Francisco with a walk, sandwiched around 2 strikeouts.
Fouls out straight back. It's 1-2. He mentioned to me earlier this year that he wasn't too familiar with the number 9 spot so far in his career, but noticed that it gave him a lot of time to think about his at-bats and kind of get mentally prepared, because usually you're not coming up till maybe the 3rd inning in some cases. But moved back up to the number 3 spot, seems to work for him as well. He fouls that one out of play. Getting the pitch count up here on Benjamin Sidorenios. Noel McGarry Doyle at third base. 1-2 count on Francisco Hernandez. Sidorenios pitch just outside. Sidorenios working quickly, comes set. Here's the 2-2. Called strike 3. Breaking ball on the outside corner gets Hernandez looking, and that's how the Leafs get out of it. Stranding a runner 90 feet away from scoring, but still 9-0 in favor of the Barrie Baycats. We head to the 6th inning. You're watching Baycats TV.
The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield.
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run.
Top of the 6th inning, Athletic Kulture Stadium. Pack the Park Night presented by Vintage Throne Barber Lounge. 9-0 for the Barrie Baycats over the Toronto Maple Leafs. The final regular season matchup between these Highway 400 rivals this year, and Frank Garces has been cruising. 5 scoreless frames so far. He's only allowed 2 hits and a walk. Ryan Dos Santos back to the top of the order for the Leafs.
And Garces has retired 8 in a row, and the last Leaf to reach base was this man at the plate.
Had a single in the 3rd. Infield playing in. The first pitch is a bit high.
What an outing for Frank Garces, and if in fact this is his final start of the 2025 regular season, what a way to end it. Set the single season strikeout record early in this ball game, getting Dos Santos on strikes to break that record, which was 105 coming into the game here tonight.
1-1, breaking ball in for a strike. That strikeout to start the game also put Dos Santos into a category he doesn't want to be in, let alone being the strikeout victim to get the record, but now leading the IBL in strikeouts by hitters. Fans Athletic Kulture Stadium behind Garces as 1-2 is fouled away. .48 strikeouts on the year for Ryan Dos Santos. 112 for Garces. Garces 1-2. That's a base hit to left field. Dos Santos, his second single of the game to lead off this 6th inning.
Well, we've been talking about how Dos Santos has been getting on base so often with walks this season. How about that? 2 singles off Frank Garces, one of the toughest pitchers in the IBL tonight.
3 hits now off of Garces. He has 2 of them.
And Dos Santos with a pair, Dennis DeBanning with the other hit for the Leafs.
Big swing and a miss there from John Javier. Oh, 1 called a strike. Another off-speed pitch from Garces getting ahead early. .53 hits on the year for John Javier, 1 back of the league lead. Here's the 0-2 from Garces, cut on and missed. Strikeout brought to you by Vintage Throne.
113 strikeouts for Frank Garces and counting. I mean, it would have been fun if we had a sign in the outfield, a strikeout meter or something like that going for
Fans
Frank
put the
this
K's
season.
on the
That
wall.
too, the K's, that is something that we should be doing here in Barrie. With Frank Garces, Cesar Rosado, who can also put up the strike. He was the previous record holder here in Barrie. Well, I think we got to get a strikeout wall going.
Mike Chiquetto will pinch hit for Jordan Castaldo. Former Barrie Baycat himself. First pitch from Garces, just outside.
Yeah, he's been a late season addition for both teams here tonight, Baycats and the Leafs.
Couple different stints with the team this year. There was a period where he was off the roster and then brought back closer to the start of July. It's been a lot of roster movement with this Toronto Maple Leafs team throughout the season. There's a 2-0, fouled away. Nine players who were at one point on the Maple Leafs team this year who are no longer on the active roster. One of them, Chris Nagorski, who made his way to the Baycats about a month ago. That one just outside. 3-1 now here on Chiquetto.
It's amazing when you look back through the years how many great players in this league have spent time with both the Maple Leafs and the Baycats. And you mentioned a few of them there.
On the ground to Odd. This could be two. To Hernandez for one. On to first. It's a double play to end the inning. And Frank Garces celebrates as he comes off the mound and into the Barrie dugout. Shutout still intact. 9-0 through 6. At the bottom of the 6th inning, the Baycats half. You're watching Baycats TV.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. Highview Contracting Group in Barrie and Simcoe County, offering award-winning hardscape, interlocking, pools, excavation, and more. Call 705-985-7669 or highviewcontracting.ca.
Bottom of the 6th inning here at Athletic Kulture Stadium, and it is brought to you by Vintage Throne Barber Lounge, redefining gentlemen one community at a time.
Julius, Hern, Ben, Davy, Manigale, our entire Baycats TV crew with you. Bottom of the 6th. It's a 9-0 lead for the Barrie Baycats. They've kind of flipped the script. The last time these two teams played, it was a 9-0 lead. About this halfway through the game, Christie Pitts, but in favor of the Maple Leafs.
I know you love baseball symmetry, and that's exactly what's happened. It's a 9-0 score, just in reverse from what happened in Toronto. Do you think we'll have a 10-6 final here tonight?
Oh, that'd be interesting. First pitch to Nolan Macabrota is called a strike from Benjamin Sidorenios.
The other thing I found interesting was when you look at the Barrie line score tonight, no runs in the first, 5 in the second, none in the third, 4 in the fourth, none in the fifth.
There's a base hit right up the middle from Macabrota to lead things off for Barrie.
So if you continue that pattern, this should be a 3-run inning for Barrie. 5 in the second, 4 in the fourth, 3 in the sixth. Scoring all the runs on the even-numbered innings. Kind of like the San Francisco Giants with their World Series, right?
2010, 2012, 2014.
That's right. Baycats are doing it on the even-numbered innings tonight.
Tristan Clark has had a nice night. 2-run homer, a hard line out to right, and then a double to left field. Fouls that one straight back. Ten hits now, for the Baycats. Offense had really been a struggle over the last stretch of 3 games. 5 hits in each game against the Jackfish. Clark takes it up and away. Sidorenios, breaking ball fouled away by Clark. Sidorenios has a nice pace to him. He's working quickly, even with the runner on. Not too worried about Macabrota at first with a modest lead.
There was a small pack of about 10 kids that were on their way into the ballpark, and as soon as they saw that foul ball, they immediately did a 180 reverse course and jetted it back out the gate towards the other side of the trees for that foul ball. Only one of them came away with it. That was just kind of funny to see.
There's a disengagement there from Sidorenios, his first of the plate appearance. Macabrota leads off first. Giacchetto now playing first in place of Jordan Castaldo, who he pinch hit for last half inning as Clark fouls that one away. 2-1 here on Tristan Clark from Benjamin Sidorenios. Breaking ball, fouled away again. Looked like it jammed Clark a little bit, but he was able to get out in front of it.
Be interesting to see if Frank Garces comes out for the 7th. He threw 86 pitches through 6 innings tonight, 59 strikes. An outstanding performance by the veteran left-hander.
Looks like Chris Nagorski is throwing in the Baycats bullpen, so curious to see if that's an inning or two away. Clark on the ground, a little number towards short. Gonna be a tough play, but in time, out of the hand of Dan Mara. Or Spencer Ross, pardon me. Macabrota moves up to second, so it's still a productive at-bat for Tristan Clark.
A lot of strikeouts and fly balls tonight. The Toronto infield hasn't had a whole lot to be on their toes with tonight. When you look at the score sheet, look at all the strikeouts and fly balls and walks.
That's just the second ground ball from Baycats hitters. The other one was by this man, Adam Ott.
Anything on the ground has been a base hit. So we got to get that trivia answer in here, partner. 2 outs in the inning, or 1 out, I guess, right?
Adam Ott takes one up high. Let's do that. Time now for the trivia answer.
Yes.
I asked you earlier who had the first hit off of Frank Garces in his IBL career. Your guess.
There had to be a reason why you picked this question for this game, and I'm thinking that you were coming up with a player here that has played for both teams. Now, I was not covering the IBL in 2018, so I'm going out on a bit of a limb because I don't know for sure that he was on the Leafs roster this year in 2018, but I'm going to guess Glenn Jackson.
No.
Okay.
Is
it someone who played for both teams?
No.
The Leafs and the Baycats.
It's not.
Oh, you weren't going that direction.
No.
Okay. Okay, I thought you were trying to
still
find
in the league.
Oh, okay. Well, I was thinking Jonathan Salazzo.
That's incorrect.
Okay, 0 for 2. Greg Carrington?
No, it is Garrett Takamatsu.
Oh! Well, I would have got to him at some point, but... So Garrett Takamatsu was Frank Garces' first strikeout victim in the IBL.
He had the first hit off of Frank Garces.
Oh, the first hit. I thought you said first strikeout.
No. Adam Ott takes one low. It's 2-1. Macabrota moved up to third on a pass ball. 3-1, pardon me.
We'll go through the YouTube chat after the game and see who came up with the correct answer, I guess.
See who did it first. 3-1 to Adam Ott. He swings right through it. Counts full. Fouled away by Adam Ott.
Of course, the Baycats' first IBL championship, 2005, came against this team, the Toronto Maple Leafs, on a muggy Sunday night in late August. Angus Roy on the mound against future Baycat, Paul Spaljaric.
Just had his number retired by the Leafs not too long ago as well, Paul Spaljaric. Cool. Ott fouls it away again. Baycats hitters really getting the pitch count up here on Benjamin Sidorenios, and nobody throwing in the Leafs bullpen. (3-2), 1 out. Macabrota at third. Here's the pitch from Sidorenios. It's a deep drive into center field, but it will stay up and in the yard. DeBanning makes the catch. Tacking up from third is Macabrota. He will jaunt into home, and that's the 10th run on the board for the Baycats.
And that ends the scoring symmetry between this game and the last game at Christie Pitts. Barrie with a 10-run lead. Ball sounded pretty good off the bat of Adam Ott, but he hit it to straightaway center field. Did the job bringing home the runner, Nolan Macabrota.
This is James Anderson, came in defensively last half inning for Clayton Keys. And Anderson needing to get some appearances and plate appearances to qualify for the playoffs still. It's a good opportunity for him to get that. He fouls that one away. Still yet to have a hit this year as well.
Yeah, not only the plate appearances, but just to get some swings in. Try to get a bit of a hot bat here through the last few games of the season. I mean, he will be an important role player for this club in the playoffs, coming in off the bench when needed Anytime you need a defensive substitution late in the game, he's a versatile guy that can come in and play pretty much anywhere you need.
Bases are clear, 1-1, 2 out, and that one way away from Anderson. It's 2-1. You asked who was the first strikeout victim for Frank Garces in the IBL?
Yeah, did you come up with that?
Justin Mara.
Okay.
Second batter he ever faced. 2-1 from Sidorenios up high.
2 years before that, Frank was pitching for the San Diego Padres. 55 big league appearances.
3-1, that's a called strike.
And James thought maybe he drew the walk there. He took a step towards first.
Sidorenios trying to get out of the inning, but it's up high and in. Anderson works the walk, and the inning continues for Barrie.
First walk that Sidorenios has served up. Third base runner. Pretty effective in these middle relief innings.
Tyler Plumpton's had a nice night at the plate. A few hard hit balls, had a single and scored in the second, and flew out twice to center field. First pitch, fouls it away. Anderson the lead at first. 0-1 to Plumpton. The drive into left field, but hanging up for Boscarino, who makes the catch to end the Baycats half of the sixth inning. But the Adwell on one more. 10 runs now for the Baycats. They lead this one 10-0 through 6. Ben Davy back on the mic to call this one the 7th. You're watching Baycats TV.
No errors and one.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room, and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats!
What if a thrift store could change lives? Barrie Families Unite is making it happen. Essential needs support for those families in our community who need it most. Charity gives. Dignity empowers.
Top of the 7th inning at Athletic Kulture Stadium. The youngsters competing in Dizzy Bats, or as we've recently renamed it, the Race to Rio. And it ended in a tie between those two kids. They were pretty fast. I mean, there's no way that I'm running that fast in a straight line after doing 10 spins like that.
From seeing the way that some other stadiums do that style of game, it is much more difficult than you think it is.
Now, the second half of that challenge should be that each kid has to chug a 2-liter of Sprite and then down a pack of Mentos.
One community at a time.
Parents would not like that, I can assure you.
Especially this late.
At bat for the Maple Leafs, the right fielder, number 4, Marcus Connect.
Marcus Connect has 2 strikeouts, and Frank Garces' night has come to a close, but oh, what a night it was.
Yeah, 6 innings, a fantastic outing, a historic one. Question still is if he's going to get another start. Will that be his season total? Have that for you a little later on. But this is Chris Nagorski, 5th appearance since he made his way from Toronto to Barrie.
Takes the first pitch strike. Frank did that trademark 180 fist pump spin when he came off the mound with that double play to end the 6th inning, and I had a feeling when I saw that maybe he knew that was his last inning of work tonight. He did that when he struck out the side here last weekend to end his outing that night as well.
8 strikeouts for him through 6 innings.
So 113 now?
Yep.
If my math is right? Wow. The new franchise record holder, Frank Garces. Dennis Debanning on deck.
And Nagorski's 5th appearance this year for Barrie, yet to allow an earned run. Just 1 walk and 4 hits. Make it 5.
Base hit left field. Just going to mention the what we had pointed out earlier. Castaldo and Connect combined 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts, but Connect gets a base hit here to lead off the 7th.
Center fielder number 19, Dennis Debanning.
Dennis Debanning, always dangerous. 1 for 2 tonight. That is just the 4th Toronto hit of the game.
You talk about getting a quality start out of your starting pitcher. Frank Garces seems to fit the mold there. He defines what a quality start is.
Almost effortlessly stacked up those zeros on the board tonight. And boy, if he can keep that groove going through the playoffs.
Only 86 pitches as well.
A masterful night by one of the league's best. 1-1 is the count. Very lively crowd here tonight at Athletic Kulture Stadium. Pack the Park night. Presented by Vintage Throne Barber Lounge, and very nice, comfortable summer evening here at the ballpark for these fans to enjoy as well.
I think the umpires are going to come together. I think that Dennis Debanning was arguing that could have been catcher's interference on that last pitch.
Tough to pick that up if that might have hit. The only one that would know for sure would be Plumpton, I guess, if that hit his mitt, but the call is a foul tip. Count 1-1. Fly ball, deep center field. McGarry Doyle back, reaches up, and he makes the catch. Runner going back is Connect. What a catch by Noel McGarry Doyle, dead center.
That was an incredible catch by McGarry Doyle. It looked like he came in on contact, had to kind of go back and spin around, but he kind of reached up, full arm extension to end up bringing that one down. It caught Marcus Connect off guard. He was already at second base.
Keeping an eye on the Welland Jackfish and the Brantford Red Sox, still 7-0 in that game. And on the YouTube page, it's labeled the Niagara Lawncocks versus the Brantford Red Sox.
Yeah, that's their alternate identity.
The alternate name for the Welland Jackfish this season. Popped up in the infield. Nagorski, will he take it? He does. Pretty harmless pop-up off the bat of Justin Mara, 2 down. Don't often see pitchers take those.
Yeah, so that was the viral alternate identity the Jackfish kind of unveiled this year. It's similar to the Cobra Chickens that the London Majors have that they've done a couple times this year. But mention one, the Jackfish can do it at home. That'd be great because they haven't had a moment like that at their home park yet. But to do it in the Lawncocks gear, that'd be pretty cool.
I guess it would if you're a fan of the name and the uniform. It certainly looks a lot different than their usual.
It would be kind of an anomaly.
Very interesting. It's like I don't even know how you describe that. Red and black. It's not a pinstripe.
It looks like a white bottom with like the vest design over it.
That's a 10-0 game now in the bottom of the 8th, so it does look like Welland is going to clinch the IBL pennant here tonight at Welland Stadium. Pitch is outside. Nagorski behind Boscarino now, 3-0. Now, weren't they something to do with the Squirrels or something like that last year? Or
the Rose City Timber Tigers a couple years ago.
Okay, so why the change from that to Longcocks, I wonder?
marketing, branding, merchandising.
Still waiting for our Bay City Biters name to take off here with the Baycats in honor of the Mosquitoes, which haven't been too bad this year, to be honest.
I've been surprised every time I've been here. It's not bad at all.
Swing and a miss. 3-2. I think maybe the smoke has kept them away.
Yeah,
All of the poor air quality.
They seem to always come out when it's the most humid, and we haven't had a ton of really humid nights at the park yet this year, so we've gotten lucky.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Big pitch from Nagorski coming up with 2 out. Runner goes. It's low. The inning will continue. A base on balls to Boscarino. 2 on, 2 out for the number 8 hitter, Dan Mara.
The second baseman, number 6, Dan Mara.
Usually you see Dan Mara hitting up higher in the order, around that number 2 to number 5 area. But number 8 spots seem to be working for him, but he's 0 for 2 today.
So Welland up 10-0 on Brantford. Kitchener 4-2 over London. Panthers, of course, will be here on Saturday. Julius will have that call along with Jack Hind filling in, doing color analysis. Looking forward to that. Getting him on the broadcast, and I know he's excited about joining you on Saturday afternoon.
It's going to be a fun day. If the last time the Panthers were here taught us anything, is that we're going to be in for a close game between those two teams.
Now, I have an idea for Jack that I haven't even pitched to him yet. I'll just throw it out here on the broadcast and find out what you think. But if Jack ever wanted to write like a blog, like a post-game write-up similar to you do for Barrie 360, he could call it Hindsight. Hindsight.
That's awesome.
Looking back, right?
So good.
Yeah.
You can use that for anything, let alone baseball.
Well, that's true. But sort of like a look back, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So he's going to be mad at me for creating another project for him, I think. 3-0 pitch. Inside. Ball 4. Nagorski. Back-to-back walks now. Down here at the bottom of the order, Spencer Ross, the number 9 hitter, comes to the plate. He's walked once tonight as well. Tyler Plumpton out for a chat with his hurler.
Yeah, bases loaded now for Toronto. It's something they haven't had yet tonight. They only had 1 runner in scoring position before this, and that was Spencer Ross in the 3rd.
10-0 lead, but you certainly don't want to give this Maple Leafs team any sign of life here.
Nagorski's doubled his season walk total just in these first 2/3 of an inning.
So here comes Spencer Ross. 2 on, 2 out, top of the 7th. Nagorski deals. Ross taking all the way, and it's over for a strike.
And Spencer Ross 1 for 3 this year with 3 RBI with the bases loaded.
Boscarino at second. Dan Mara at first. Just missed outside. Not by much. Plumpton held it for an extra half a second to see if he could get the call. Here's the pitch. Fastball low and in. 2-1.
Nagorski, a much different pitcher than you see with Frank Garces. Garces is a little bit more of a side angle to his arm action, especially coming from the left side. Nagorski, a bit more posture to him in his delivery.
Another close pitch, and Nagorski tosses his hands to the side just in frustration. Almost as if to say, if I can't get that call, this is going to be a tough inning to get out of.
Well, home plate umpire Keith Corville has caused some, it's caused some displeasure from both sides tonight. Started earlier with Brian Sewell, the acting manager, ejected.
Three-one pitch. On the ground, down the line, and through into right field. That'll score a run, maybe 2. The ball picked up, fired in by James Anderson. 2 across for the Maple Leafs as Boscarino and Mara score. It's a 10-2 ball game.
Baseman number 8, Ryan Dos Santos.
2 RBIs for Spencer Ross. What an at bat. That 3-1 pitch, hitting it hard right down the line.
It's been a really clutch hitter for the team in that number 9 spot. You saw how well he hit for average last year with the Panthers, and having that in your lineup on either side leading off or in the number 9 spot would be so valuable in those situations.
So just a quick correction, it was Connect and Boscarino scoring. Mara to third, Dan Mara to third. Ross got as far as second. 2 in scoring position here. A chance for Ryan Dos Santos to make this a big inning for the Leafs.
First earned runs of the year as a Baycat for Chris Nagorski. Only had 1 earned run allowed, and that was earlier this year with Toronto in his first 10 innings.
10-2 Barrie. Nagorski trying to get that elusive third out here, a high one. 3-0 now. First base is open, but you look at the man on deck, John Javier, and I'm not sure putting Ryan Dos Santos on really solves much here. 3-0. Called strike.
And Dos Santos thought he had ball 4 there. He's about to toss his bat back to the dugout.
Well, that could have been outside, and there was at least 1 pitch in the previous at bat that could have gone Nagorski's way.
Keep in mind Connor Lewis on deck here.
There's a strike, 3-2. And here comes the crowd. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Chris Nagorski trying to keep this a 10-2 game. 2 on for the Leafs. Here's the pitch. On the ground to second. Odd on a hop. The throw is in time for the out. Maple Leafs strand 2, but they score 2 as we go to the 7th inning stretch here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. 10-2 Baycats on Rogers TV and Baycats TV.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
Fans from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Seventh inning of play is brought to you by Vintage Throne Barber Lounge, redefining gentlemen one community at a time.
4th pitcher of the night for the Maple Leafs will be left-hander Adam Mara.
Adam Mara got the win here a couple weeks ago in extra innings over the Baycats. Veteran of this Toronto Maple Leafs team. I believe he's now the acting manager after the ejection of Brian Sewell earlier on.
And his battery mate, brother Justin. Baycats up by 8 runs here, 10-2 Barrie. Number 9 hitter Noah Hall at the plate. And it's official in Welland, the Jackfish are the 2025 IBL pennant winners. The big 10-0 win over the Brantford Red Sox tonight. That nails down first place for them.
Yeah, and if the playoffs were to start today, it would be a first-round rematch from last year. It would be the Jackfish and the Kitchener Panthers. Jackfish winning that series in 4 games.
Swing and a miss. Mara pulled the string on Noah Hull. 2-2. I had one eye on that game between innings, and the Jackfish, all business. Very, very subdued celebration at Welland Stadium. A few high fives, swing and a miss by Hull for the strikeout, but not a what you would think of as a pennant clinching type celebration on field. They know the task at hand is an IBL championship, and that requires 3 playoff round wins, something they were unable to do last year.
Yeah, we were talking about it in the half-inning break there, trying to think back if they had a similar kind of celebration at home, but they won their 1 playoff round last year. They actually lost to the Guelph Royals at home in Game 5 of the semis.
Set the stage for a Barrie-Guelph IBL championship series, which surprised some, who maybe expected that Welland would have had no problems getting to the finals, but it didn't happen. That one hit McGarry Doyle. He tosses the bat and heads to first.
Adam Mara, this is his 10th appearance of the year. Imagine he had the win a couple weeks ago. His only decision of the year so far, but an ERA of 15 in 9 innings this year. His last outing against Chatham-Kent did not go his way, to say the least. An inning and 2/3, 6 earned runs on 4 hits and 2 walks. Had 2 strikeouts in there as well. But also struggled in the earlier outing this year against Chatham-Kent as well. That was 6 earned runs in just 1/3 of an inning. Those are the only real 2 blow-ups that he's had that's inflated his ERA up to 15.
Brandon Hernandez for the 5th time tonight. Well, if you're Welland, first place is nice, but there's no trophy for winning the pennant. Guarantees them home field, of course. And another hit batter. Certainly no intent by Adamara, but he's plugged 2 in a row here.
Again, we've seen fireworks from these 2 teams late, and in a game like this where it's an 8-run ball game now through 6.5, if you're both sides, you're hoping it doesn't really get to that point that we saw last time the Maple Leafs were here, where 10th inning started to see some jawing from Dennis Day Banning, and he actually told me earlier today, he's like, I better hold myself accountable in this game. Doesn't want the similar situation.
Yeah, players on both sides really have had their emotions tested in some of these heated battles, not only in 2025 but years prior, but it really has escalated here this year between these teams.
Well, Day Banning was suspended a game for that incident, and so was Willie Garcia, who came off the bench after being substituted.
Well, a lot of that can kind of spark when one team feels another team is intentionally hitting players, but with Adamara in that situation, those were both pretty soft pitches, and certainly not trying to put base runners on here in a 10-2 game. Here's the pitch. Called strike.
Francisco Hernandez, 3 strikeouts and a walk, still looking for a hit.
Base hit to left field. They'll hold the runner at third. The bases are loaded. 2 hit batters and a hit. And Nolan Macabrota will bat with the bases loaded. Kitchener-London game's now 5-3 Panthers. So the Baycats looking to draw even with the majors and pull into a tie for second place. These scores can hold up tonight. That will be the case.
And just 4 games left for the Baycats after tonight's matchup. 3 of them at home, so they have a little bit of an advantage there to lock up second place like they did last year.
Baycats got to within, I think 3.5 was the closest they came to Welland, and then they lost, or 3, and then they lost both games of the home and home. So that widened it to 5 and really put the pennant out of reach. But could have been a lot different if they had won those games against Welland. Swing and a miss by Macabrota.
Well, it was 2.5 because the previous night they lost to Toronto at the pits. So yeah, close as 2.5.
So you think about that. If it was 2.5 and then they won, if they could have swept the home and home against the Jackfish, and in fact the exact opposite happened, they lost in convincing fashion. But the Baycats could have got to within a half a game.
Also, given that they would have had to beat the Leafs on the road that Wednesday night as well.
Mind you, home field hasn't been a huge advantage for most IBL ball clubs in the regular season. We've talked about that at length. 1 ball, 2 strikes here. The base is loaded. 10-2 Barrie. The pitch from Mara. On the ground, foul.
Adam Odd's the only Baycats hitter without a hit so far in tonight's game after Francisco Hernandez singled.
Every Baycat has reached base, including Odd, with a walk and a run scored. So it's been a solid, balanced offensive attack here by the Baycats tonight. That's what you want to see, especially heading into the playoffs. You want to see everybody contributing 1 through 9.
Even James Anderson, who came in as a substitution for Clayton Keys, came on and walked his first time up.
If your team is getting all of its offense from the same part of the order, that's not a good sign heading into the playoffs. 2-2, and the count is full. Nowhere to put Nolan Macabrota. 1 out of the inning here. Mara working quickly. 3-2 pitch on the ground and through into center field. That's going to score 2 more. Oh, so close to what could have been an inning-ending double play, but that ball just split the middle infield. A very lazy ground ball that got all the way through into center field.
Fielder number 6, Kristen Clark.
So Noel McGarry-Doyle scores. Brandon Hernandez behind him. Francisco Hernandez to third. Nolan Macabrota with an RBI single.
And 4 runs batted in now for Nolan Macabrota. Had a 2 RBI single back in the 4th. And every time he's reached, he's scored.
Barrie half of the scoreboard looking pretty messy tonight. 12 runs, 12 hits. We're still only in the bottom of the 7th. Swing and a miss by Tristan Clark. Clark with a 2-run homer tonight. That got Barrie on the board. They kept their foot on the gas. 5 in the 2nd, 4 in the 4th. A run in the 6th, and now 2 here in the 7th.
You can tell Clark's eager to add on here. Reached a little bit on that last pitch, but got a stitch on it off the end of the bat.
Inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Give the Baycats credit. They have not let up at all against this Toronto team. Maple Leafs bullpen quiet. They'll get whatever they can out of Adam Mara here tonight. Here's the pitch. A high fly ball. Center field, straight away. Dennis Day-Banning has it all the way. Runner tags. And that'll bring in another run for the Baycats. Francisco Hernandez crosses home plate. 13-2 Barrie.
Second baseman number 26, Adam Odd.
Productive out for Tristan Clark. Adam Odd to the plate.
Still a runner on ahead of him too, so this inning not over for Adam Mara. Facing his former teammate now.
On the ground to second, and it gets past Dan Mara.
So every Baycats starter with a hit now after that one by Odd.
James Anderson to the plate.
Right fielder number 34, James Anderson.
A lot of these Baycats are going to get 6 plate appearances tonight. A high pop-up, should be playable. First baseman unable to make the catch, Mike Chiquetto. in foul territory. Stayed with it all the way, but just couldn't follow it into his glove.
Yeah, it was a tough play. He had to go back on it quite a ways, trying to hold Adam on there.
Not their everyday first baseman, and a play that might have been a little more routine for Jordan Castaldo, who's pretty much a mainstay at first. Morrow wastes one outside. It's 1-1 to James Anderson.
Anderson, like I mentioned, still looking for his first hit of the year. 0 for 10.
Fly ball, deep left center field, and it'll drop and go all the way to the warning track. That's going to bring in 2 runs. James Anderson with a double. And the Baycat blowout is in full force. Macabrota, an odd score.
Perfectly split the gap. And hard to see where that one was going to roll all the way to the wall. It died right in front of the warning track. You gotta imagine a tighter game, a hit like that, it could have been a triple for James Anderson.
15-2 Barrie.
Third time the Baycats have sent at least 9 to the plate in this game.
And really incredible. This is the kind of offense that they would have loved to have had on that Wednesday night in Toronto. Down the line, fair ball into left field. James Anderson rounds third. He will score. An RBI single for Tyler Plumpton, and the Baycats will in fact bat around and send their 10th man to the plate. Noah Hall, the number 9 hitter.
This game is very much looking like either 2 of the home playoff games against the Maple Leafs last year. The Baycats had 18 hits in both of those games. They've got 15 now.
So Austin Boylan will pinch hit for Noah Hall. Good opportunity to get some plate appearances in for some of the reserves here tonight. Hull had a good night at the plate. Singled, scored, was hit by a pitch. Broken bat to center field, base hit. The onslaught continues. And here's Noel McGarry-Doyle.
Tough there for Boylan. You might think you're coming to the ball game tonight and you may not even play, but he gets in. First pitch he sees, he breaks his bat, but at least he gets a hit out of it.
No easy outs in this Baycat lineup, and even the reserves, when they come in, they're hungry to make the most of their plate appearances. Boylan wasted no time. The 11th Baycat to hit in the 7th will be Noel McGarry-Doyle. So the inning started with a Noah Hall strikeout, and Noel McGarry-Doyle was hit by a pitch. A little lazy flare to left field. It may drop. It does! Boscarino had a long way to come over. And to score is Tyler Plumpton.
Boylan couldn't go farther than second there, so that's going to be a single for Noel McGarry-Doyle.
Congratulations if you picked the over tonight. 17-2 Barrie. Alex Wickett will try to drive in the 20th run of this game. You just never know between these teams. A game like this, we've seen some low-scoring games here in Barrie between these clubs. To short, and they go to second, and finally, the third out of the inning. Baycats send 13 to the plate. They score 7 and turn a 10-2 lead into a 17-2 blowout. We go to the 8th. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run. The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield.
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
Faces on the field, and with the season winding down, a few Baycats players are starting to shift their focus back to school. Guys like Nino Spencer Thomas, Austin Boylan, Asafa Jones, and Alex Wickett are headed back to school shortly. They told me they're already feeling the emotions kick in. They built something special with this group, from the bond in the locker room to the connection with the fan base. Each of them had mentioned in different ways how proud they are of how they've played this summer and how much they're going to be miss being a part of this team.
Thank you, Maddie. Yeah, when those players go to school, they still have an eye on how the Baycats are doing when they get the opportunities. I know a lot of them watch the broadcasts and, still feel a part of this team even following their departure. Of course, they'll get championship rings if the team wins. Brad Grieveson now on to pitch for Barrie. Here's a fly ball, shallow right field, and it drops in front of James Anderson. Had a long way to go, and it's a leadoff hit for Toronto here in the 8th.
Yeah, it's Connor Lewis coming in as a pinch hitter for John Javier, the designated hitter. Couple defensive changes now. She mentioned Austin Boylan and Alex Wickett. Boylan now at third base for Noah Hull. On to Adam Odd, moves over to short, and Alex Wickett in for Brandon Hernandez, now playing second base.
Good opportunity for those young players to get some time here tonight. Here's another fly ball to right field. Anderson again, a long way to go. It's foul. Busy couple of pitches back-to-back for James Anderson. Cardio getting a little bit of a test here in this game for him. So the Baycat outfield left to right, Clark, McGarry, Doyle, and Anderson. The infield from third to first, Boylan, Odd, Wickett, and Macabrota. Lewis, the runner at first. Mike Cicchetto at the plate. Swing and a miss. Here's two guys that know each other very well. A couple of IBL veterans, Brad Grieveson and Mike Cicchetto. Down the first base side, and it's into right field for a base hit. 2 hits off Brad Grieveson here in this inning.
Well, it's a good opportunity to get Grieveson some innings, right? He hasn't pitched in a while. Is well documented. He's very avid coaching his kids in baseball, and he's gone stateside this summer as well. So it's been a while since he's been a regular at the ballpark, but opportunity to maybe get him 1-2 innings to close out this game in a now 15-run margin.
Not a bad situation to get some work at all. Brad did pitch in Kitchener on Sunday. It was a very short appearance for him, though. An inning of work, gave up 3 earned runs. They love to put up a clean inning here tonight. 2 on, though, with nobody out. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Grieveson, a 2-time IBL champion with the Barrie Baycats. Championship rings 19 years apart. 2005 and 2024. recorded the final 3 outs of the Baycats championship clinching Game 4 in Guelph.
In relief of Frank Garces as well.
2 of the league's best. The veteran right-hander to the belt. Kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss. A strikeout for Vintage Throne Barber Lounge and a big one for Brad Grieveson.
Center fielder number 19, Dennis DeBanning.
Dennis DeBanning comes to the plate. So 1 out in the inning, 2 on. It's Lewis at second, Chicato at first. Here's the pitch. Outside. 2-0. 17 runs, 17 hits for Barrie. And now time is called by DeBanning.
Well, DeBanning is home run in the 10th inning, and the first game of the season for the Baycats was a winner in extras. First meeting of these two since that home opener.
Swing and a miss. Grieveson had a little extra on that. DeBanning trying to interrupt his momentum a little bit here. Taking a long time getting settled in. Now he's ready. 2 balls. And a strike. Here's the pitch. Inside. 3-1. Middle infield at double play depth. Adam on and Alex Wickett. That one fouled back to the screen. It's a full count. Final regular season matchup for the Baycats and the Leafs. Barrie trying to square the season series at 3 apiece. Up by 15 here tonight. 3-2, pitch from Grieveson, and it's foul to the right, over the trees.
Yeah, the Leafs have found the success off the relief pitching so far. Frank Garces only allowed 2 hits and a walk through 6 innings. But since then, 5 hits for the Leafs offense, 2 of them in this inning.
Ground ball to short. Nice backhand play to second for 1. On to first. In time for the double play. 6-4-3. And that'll do it as Brad Grieveson gets the Baycats off the field. Toronto's transit runner. It's a 17-2 Barrie lead as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
2 hits, no errors, and
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
It's the 2025 IBL Home Run Derby and All-Star Game, hosted by the Hamilton Cardinals at beautiful Barrie Baycats Stadium. Watch the league's top sluggers crush moonshots in the Derby. Then see the best of the best go head-to-head under the lights in the All-Star Game.
Highview Contracting Group in Barrie and Simcoe County, offering award-winning hardscape, interlocking, pools, excavation, and more. Call 705-985-7669 or highviewcontracting.ca.
What if a thrift store could change lives? Barrie Families Unite is making it happen. Essential needs support for those families in our community who need it most. Charity gives. Dignity empowers.
Thank you, Jack.
Eighth inning of play is brought to you by Vintage Throne Barber Lounge, redefining gentlemen one community at a time.
To the Baycats, designated hitter number 0,
Francisco Hernandez, designated hitter tonight, comes to the plate for the 6th time. He has 3 strikeouts, singled and scored and walked. Faces Adam Mara here in this bottom of the 8th inning. First pitch hit off the end of the bat, or the inside part of the bat. It's a second, and the easy out is recorded. Dan Mara to Mike Chiquetto at first.
Another pinch hitter coming up after Macabrota. It looks like Antonino Spencer Thompson on deck. So Josh Matlow trying to get as many bodies into this game as possible, especially the youngsters who are nearly heading off to college again later this month.
Nolan Macabrota, 3 singles, walked and struck out. Mara buzzes him inside. 2-0 the count. Swing and a miss. Two one, and it's a base hit to right field.
So the player who hit for, the player who hit for Marcus Connect last half inning was Spencer McInnes. He's wearing number 22, different than his usual 28, and he's now playing right field as well.
Nino Spencer Thompson will pinch hit for Tristan Clark. First pitch swinging, it's high and deep to right field. It is a home run! Nino Spencer Thompson over the right field fence. 2-run homer. 21 for Barrie now.
First career IBL home run for Antonino Spencer Thompson. He saw that pitch from Adam Mara right out of the hand and took it deep right down that right field line. You can see the dugout reacting, so happy for him in this game to get his first IBL homer.
Sorry, it's 19-2 for Barrie. The score's so high we're losing track of it here. The Baycats up by 17, 19-2. What a moment for Antonino Spencer Thompson. Popped up off the bat of Adamad. Right side of the infield, and it's dropped by Dan Mara. Looked like he had it all the way, just couldn't come up with a catch. Off his glove.
Tough play for the veteran infielder. And this night of what seems like it's misery for the Maple Leafs has continued here.
Well, it's only the first error of the night for them, but swing and a miss by James Anderson. So Odd is aboard. One out in the inning. Anderson taking all the way. It's a called strike. Obviously a catch. Dan Mara makes 99 times out of 100. Didn't look to be any confusion over whose play that was. Fouled back to the screen. 0-2. So this game now 3 hours old. 0-2 for Mara, and it's down low. Right center field, base hit. Over to pick it up is Spencer Marcus. 2 on.
Spencer McInnes.
McInnes, excuse me.
The catcher, number 44, Tyler Lumpton.
Odd gets to third.
Got to imagine that's got to be a good feeling for James Anderson. He came into this game still without a hit on the year, and he has a double and a single as a defensive replacement.
Plumpton to bat. And there's another base hit to left field. And Ahmad will score easily. So Anderson on second, Plumpton at first.
Number 88, Austin Boylan.
Austin Boylan comes to bat for the second time. The Baycats about to start their 7th time through the order. Unless Boylan hits into a double play here.
Everybody clap your hands.
Fouled off.
Yeah, Ben, we were well over 3 hours. If we thought that first 2 innings were long.
This game started at 7:41. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Mara. And it's 1-2.
21 hits for the Baycats.
Hit hard but foul.
I believe this is the 3rd time this year the Baycats have had 20 or more hits. And 2 of them were in that span of their first 6-game win streak of the season.
Well, they were blown out by the Welland Jackfish on Saturday in Welland. Lost convincingly to Kitchener. That one into left field. Baycats just going station to station here. Another base hit. Unless they give him an error. Looks like they are going to give him an error for that. Second time of the game Boylan has reached. Here comes Noel McGarry Doyle.
Surprisingly, this game hadn't had an error until this inning, and now 2 for the Maple Leafs in a span of 4 batters. One by Dan Mara and one by Ryan Dos Santos.
How's your scorebook looking?
It's rough, man.
Neater than mine. A high fly ball. Should be playable. Lucas boxes Scarino over. Makes the catch. 2 down. So the runners are Anderson, Plumpton, and Boylan. Alex Wickett, who came on to pinch hit for Brandon Hernandez. Hit weakly to short. Step on the bag for the force out. 20 runs for the Baycats on 21 hits tonight. We go to the top of the 9th. Here at Athletic Kulture Stadium, Barrie up by 18. You're watching Rogers TV Barrie and Baycats TV on YouTube.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
See you this summer.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats!
Ninth inning, Baycats up 20-2, and Barrie's 4th pitcher of the night Nolan Macabrota.
Yeah, Nolan Macabrota. You don't want to waste your bullpen arms that are valuable, especially with 2 games in the next 2 days. But Nolan Macabrota, I watched him throw a bullpen today. He, in kind of preparation for maybe some winter ball action, he'll see later on that team in Australia wants him to pitch. But this first IBL pitching appearance, he actually had some pretty good movement on some of his pitches. So I was impressed, and to see him as a lefty is going to be pretty cool.
It's a ground ball under the glove of the shortstop. Adam on and into left field. Is that Ott still at short? I believe it is.
Yes, it is. Yeah, and Asafa Jones now at first. So the Baycats losing their DH.
So that will likely be a Baycat error, I would assume.
Yes, it is.
Don't see it on the board yet. We will confirm that in a moment. Here's Luca Boscarino.
Just the fourth error this year for Adam Ott, who's seen a lot of chances last year, a larger error total for him with a lot of time at short, but not just number 4.
Two and 1 the count here to Boscarino. So Mara aboard. Nolan Macabrota on the mound. The left-hander deals. It's low. Something about position players coming in to pitch. The fans just absolutely love it. And what's left of this crowd here on Pack the Park night is jacked up for Nolan Macabrota on the mound. Here's a play for Plumpton. He's got it. 1 out in the inning.
Well, we actually saw Tyler Plumpton pitch earlier this year in Guelph, but that was a blowout that was not in the Baycats' favor. This one, you can see the fans much more engaged with the team up by 18.
Second baseman, number 6, Dan Mara.
Dan Mara to the plate. Macabrota's pitch. High and away. One on, one out. Outside, Macabrota working quickly here, wasting no time. These fans are loving it. We've seen it before with position players. Ryan Rio has always been a fan favorite when he's pitched. Branfi Infante years ago would often come in and work an inning or so.
Yeah, we haven't seen the position players pitching much the last couple of years, but there's been a couple rarities for sure.
Called strike on the outside corner. Here's the pitch. Bounces up to the plate. Here's the pitch. Outside. 2 base runners here for Toronto here in the top of the 9th. Justin Mara to second. Dan Mara on first. Here's Spencer Ross.
Shortstop number 2, Spencer Ross.
How much do you think Macabrota would love to get that first strikeout as a pitcher?
He's told me that in college he had 1/3 of an inning pitched, 1 strikeout. He seemed to kind of brag about that a little bit earlier today after his bullpen.
First pitch strike to Spencer Ross. One ball, one strike. And they put the error on the board for the Baycats. Pitch is inside. 20 runs, 21 hits, 1 error for Barrie. 2 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for Toronto. Here's the pitch. High and away. 3-1. These Maple Leafs really testing the precision of Nolan Macabrota on the mound. Not swinging or chasing anything that's off the plate. Here's the 3-1. Ball 4. Base is loaded.
I think the thing we see with position players pitching often, especially if they haven't done it in this situation like Macabroda, is that they tend to not really have a settled down part of their delivery. They're kind of just pitch after pitch after pitch with a fast pace, but no real kind of way to calm themselves down and slow the game down for them.
First pitch strike to Ryan DeSantos. He's getting those first pitches over, that's for sure. Quickly into the 0-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Mara, and Ross on the bases. 0-2 to Ryan DeSantos. Here's the pitch. On the ground. To first, Jones has no play. Macabroda wasn't there in time. And again, that's not a defensive position that he has any experience at all.
Yeah, you think with Macabroda being a first baseman, you know that he'd appreciate having a pitcher get off the mound quick enough to get to first base in a play like that. But as safe for Jones, he looked at second first to see if he had a chance of getting Spencer Ross, but no play there, no play at first base, and a run scores.
Yeah, Macabroda knows as well as anybody that that's the pitcher's job to be over there and cover. And he was moving that direction. Now, if Jones had have just sprinted to the bag, I think he probably would have beat DeSantos in a foot race.
Yeah, Jones quick enough, he definitely could have.
But he was a little bit hesitant. He was thinking about second as well, and by the time he made up his mind, there was just no chance. So no error, but just a defensive mind block there on the Baycats. Brings a run in as Justin Mara scores the third run for Toronto tonight. There's a strike. 3-1. So the base runners, Dan Mara at third, Spencer Ross at second, Ryan DeSantos at first, and it's a 3-2 count now to Connor Lewis. Lewis on in relief of John Javier. Came on as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning. 1 out, here's the pitch. Fouled at the home plate. Well, this game won't reach midnight, Julius, like another game that we did this year, but it'll definitely reach 11.
And it was the Leafs, too, that game.
3-2, and it's a base hit to left field. Another run home for Toronto. 20-4, the score. Give the RBI to Connor Lewis. Dan Mara comes in.
Yeah, 2 singles for Lewis and 2 hard hit balls for sure. He's going to be a valuable bat for the Leafs ahead of the playoffs.
Justin Mara reaching on an error, so the first run is unearned. Here's Mike Giacchetto. Base is still loaded. On the ground, could be 2. Odd to Wicket. To Jones, and that's the ball game. Well, it took a while, but Nolan Macabroda got the 3 outs in the top of the ninth to finish this one off. And the Baycats cruise to a 20-4 win over their Highway 400 rivals.
A lot of highlights in this game for the Baycats. Right away, Frank Garces, the single-season franchise strikeout record, gets it right away, the first batter of the game. A couple home runs in this game. Tristan Clark belts one out, his 9th of the year. Antonino Spencer Thompson, his first IBL home run later on in this one, but the offense just kept pouring on throughout this game. 21 hits to get 20 runs across for Barrie, and a much-needed win after a 4-game losing streak.
Pulls them into a tie with the London Majors for second place. So it's on to Brantford tomorrow night, and then right back here for the Kitchener Panthers at 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. Join Julius for that call, along with Jack Hind here on Rogers TV Barrie and Baycats TV on YouTube. Until next time, for Julius, Maddie, and our entire Baycats TV crew, I'm Ben Davy, saying good night from Springwater Township.
Presented by Vintage Chrome Barber.